The Kumite has begun. Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of the BDA Boxing Show. This is a Kumite, so anybody can join. And it's going to be 1-versus-1 debates, and they will be timed. So we have a timer that's going to be going on. Now, I don't know if it's going to be 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, we'll decide that when we find people who want to debate. I guess you people decide if you want a debate to go longer or to end it. We're going to operate as if this was an Open Lines Friday. So I guess anybody can join right now, the Open Lines Friday Discord. And then once we agree on who wants to debate, then everybody's going to mute on Discord, and we're just going to allow the two participants to engage in a debate. Shout out to everybody in the chat: Larry Liston, Ed, Joker, Wakanda Tax Collector, Dead Game Boxing, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps, Reverend Pickles, Boogeyman, Boo Boo Andrade versus everybody. We have a lot of people already, so I hope we can get this party started quickly. I know Jay was on Discord earlier. If you want to jump back in, I think I saw Gonzalo. Gonzalo, you can also jump in. Jimmy, if you're listening. Let's get this started. We should also have maybe like a judge. Not a judge, but like a referee, I should say. Because sometimes when I speak and there's a lot of people on Discord, nobody can hear me. So maybe it wouldn't be a good idea if I'm the referee. Maybe we should allow somebody else to do it. If somebody's up to being up to that challenge. Not a challenge, but up to it. To become the referee, then please do so. Now, to determine the winner of a debate, I was thinking that the chat could be a judge. Actually, you know what we can do, guys? We can set up a poll. So every time there's two people debating, I'm gonna set up a poll, and you guys will start voting, as the debate goes along to see who you think is winning the debate. You can switch your votes anyways, I think so. Yeah, exactly. Super Sardonic is mentioning that we can use polls. So agreed. That's how it's going to be working. So yeah, you know what? At the beginning stages of this podcast, we can just get people in on Discord, and we can start talking boxing. And then at some point, I'm pretty sure we're going to get people who want to debate. Muller says, Pucho bringing democracy. That's right. Freedom and democracy. That's what I'm bringing to this podcast. Oh, by the way, I may or may not upload this podcast, you could say this stream, on Spotify and Spreaker and all of those. It depends. If it becomes too chaotic and it's like Open Lines Friday, then I'm not uploading it. If I find that it's somewhat reasonable, I don't know how to say it. Like if it's podcast like, then I'm gonna upload it. If it's complete chaos, it's not going up there. All right, so as I was saying, let's treat this as an Open Lines Friday for now. Anybody can jump in. And let's just talk some boxing, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to find something to debate. And you can debate me if you want. If Illogical Man is in the chat, you can jump in. I know you're a very busy man, but if you're not busy right now, I'm ready to debate whatever you want to debate. Whatever you're complaining about. Or if you want to talk anybody, if you want to talk about Devin Haney, Mr. BDA just posted a video of Devin Haney clinching, and I've seen some comments already from some people defending Devin Haney, saying he wasn't clinching that much. Clinching is legal. What else were they saying? That it was Cambosos that was coming towards Haney. Haney just... Yeah, he didn't want. He fell into the clinch, something like that. It's irrelevant. Clinching is illegal. Referees don't implement the rules of boxing these days. That's the problem. Excessive clinching is. This is what we see a lot of times now. Excessive clinching, and yeah, I'm ready to debate that. I mean, I don't know what's there to debate, to be honest, because the video speaks for itself. The guy's clinching like a maniac. The Brotherhood's in the chat. Haney hugged his way to victory again. There you go. Brotherhood, you should jump on. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure you have something to debate. And I'm shocked that Brotherhood is. I guess Brotherhood. I'm pretty sure you're a Shakur fan, right? Because this is not what I'm seeing. If you're a Shakur fan, you're an anti-Devin Haney, right? A fan, whatever you want to call it. You're a Devin Haney hater, which is interesting. If you root for Shakur, you can't root for Devin Haney. Tinman85 says, I want to debate Mirage against David Benavides. I don't know, guys. Do you want Mirage back? If you want Mirage back, I'll bring him back. But I mean, how many times have we heard that debate? The David Benavides debate. David Benavides is... Canelo's afraid of David Benavides. If you guys want that debate, I'll give it to you. Tin Man, you can jump on, man. All right, we have Gonzalo. Gonzalo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Let me connect my headphones.
All right. So we have Gonzalo in the house. Anybody can jump in. Don't be shy. You don't have to debate right away. You can just jump in. We're going to be talking boxing. And then at some point, we're going to start the debates. Larry Liston is saying, I'm down to destroy Mirage. Okay, so a lot of people want to debate Mirage. Well, I don't know what time it's in Australia right now. I guess like 6 a.m. Possibly. Neil Simpson says Haney got the complexion for the protection like Floyd was with his elbow, and Ward with his continuous butting and low blows. Yep. Elbows, headbutts. I mean, you fucking name it. It's on video, guys. That's the worst thing about it. I mean, you want to defend it, but you're in a losing battle here. All right, boxing with Frank Bay and Don Chingazos is here. Tinman85 as well. Guys, welcome to the BDA Kumite.
Hey, thank you, BDA.
A Bucho today. It's Bucho.
So King Busho, you're having the Kumite debates or what?
Yeah, Kumite debates, and yes, we are, man. Listen, it's
Hell in a Cell style.
Exactly, man. It's Hell in the Cell, 1 versus 1. We're gonna time the debates, and then people in the chat will determine who won the debate using a poll. They're gonna be setting up. So yeah, right now I just want people to come in. We're gonna talk boxing, and then I'm pretty sure we're gonna get people to debate 1 versus 1. So, what do you guys suggest? Which topics do you guys suggest?
I like the Haney clinch what you posted earlier, because I'm an advocate for. I think it's illegal. Points to be taken, because everybody, the first thing to say is you don't appreciate the sweet science. So I think that's a term that was actually created. They don't know the history of that term and the history of boxing. If you think that's something that boxing was made for.
Exactly. Well, okay, so you're challenging people on that topic. If you're listening and you disagree with what Boxing with Frank said, jump on. Hit that link. It's in the description.
Frank. The whole point of boxing is it's a striking sport. If you want to clinch, you can go into MMA or wrestling.
Someone said that Teddy Atlas and Andre Ward and all these boxing experts did not complain about this the clinching aspect of the sport, and therefore there isn't really an issue here. What do you guys think about that argument?
I mean, I don't think Andre Ward and Bradley make the rules when it comes to boxing. I think they're company men hired by Top Rank or whoever's the highest bidder. And I think that they already know what they're going to say before they say it, before they're on the air. They already know at least they know what narrative they're going to take before they go on live.
Chingazos, you need to be like a politician, man. I've seen you like on this Open Lines Friday. I mean, you come up with pretty quick answers, man. And they make fucking sense. That's true. I mean, these guys are being paid by ESPN. What are they going to say? Like, oh no, like Devin Haney, our man, is clinching too much. I mean, they're there to prop up this guy to make him look like he's the best thing ever.
And also, Andre Ward, he used to be a renowned clincher and a dirty fighter.
Yep.
So every time a fighter
Yep.
fights in a similar style, he always defends him to kind of justify his career. He's always injecting himself in the fights.
Yep. Exactly.
Andre Ward is probably seeing a young, a young version of himself in Devin Haney.
Good point. All right. We have Rare Breed and Jay. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Wait, is it Jay or J? Well, I forget. JDA. What's your name again? Oh, he can't even hear me. You need to fix your mic, man. Anyways.
Hey, Red Breed, you sound like an advocate for like dirty boxing, roughhouse boxing. Like, what you gotta say about Haney and Shakur Stevenson fucking dirty tactics, always aiming for the balls and shit for whatever reason.
Yeah,
So we talked about this already. We got to switch to a different topic because it's boring.
It's boring. Well, all right. What do you want to debate, Rare Breed?
Is it boring like the Haney fights or like the Shakur fight? Like, what type of boring are you talking about? Like, elaborate, my friend.
I'd rather talk about who should be the top guy at 135. Is it the guy with all the belts? Or somebody like Loma who has more accomplishments? Or basically, based on eye test, if you think Shakur or Tank or maybe even Ryan Garcia, who's the top guy at 135? That's more interesting to me. Because this so-called dirty boxing, that's just an opinion. We're not going to agree about that.
Well, it's all opinions here.
There's rules when it comes to boxing, so you can't just say it's opinion based.
Yeah,
there's scoring and there's rules, and there's criteria for scoring. So explain how there's no rules.
Yeah, but clinching is part of boxing. Let's be real.
But it's illegal. So how you gonna?
Fury does it. A lot of fighters use that.
Clinching is used to break a lot of most of the time.
Actually. Fury against Klitschko and Wilder in the first fight did a lot of clinching. That's a fact.
Yeah, and nobody is debating. Nobody is saying that that's not true. That's what we're talking about. Is that
certain fighters are held to a different
standard? It makes for a shitty fight, and they should be penalized.
To be fair, Devin Haney did initiate more offense in this fight, and he did hurt Kambosos. So I'm happy about that.
I mean,
fighting dirty.
You're right. Sometimes when you're sparring or fighting organically, you end up on a clinch. But that's an organic way of ending in the clinch. Well, a natural way. Yeah, and Haney does it purposely. He launches, hugs you, and
Haney, what Haney does, on purpose. What Haney does is he punches you, then he clinches. He did it over 50 times last fight. That's not what that's meant for. He's abusing the rules.
Here's the issue with boxing fans. We only have issues when they use these type of tactics when it's the guy we're rooting against.
I wasn't rooting for Kambosos. So
but
there
you wanted Haney to lose.
Is terrible.
No, people want to see a
you
good
wanted
fight.
Haney to lose. Come on now.
I didn't want Haney to lose, but I don't want him clinching 50 fucking times either.
Wait. Forget Haney. Just who's seen the that Gary Russell Rodriguez fight? Did anybody watch that? You see how dirty that guy was? That guy cracked his skull open after he got rocked. Yeah. And he did it before. So there are fighters that fight like that. That's not fighting.
You know what fighters fight like that? Andre Ward, Bernard Hopkins. They punch and then they grab. They punch and then they clinch.
Do we have he does it because he wants to get his punches off, but he doesn't want to allow the other guy to get his turn.
Exactly.
It's part of boxing.
Dude, it's not a part of boxing when you clinch it 50 times to fight. That's not a part of boxing.
Why are you so mad, bro? Did you put money on Kambosos or something?
No, because I'm sick of these stupid arguments. It's a part of boxing. Like Like you're comparing the clinching 50 times to the jab or the hook or the uppercut.
I believe Haney and Shakur do the clinching like to kill the momentum, to kill the aggressive momentum of the other fighter.
Shakur doesn't really clinch.
All right, hold on, guys.
Haney clinches because he doesn't want to get hit.
Hold on, guys. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to one.
He doesn't want to get hit.
Hold on, guys.
All right. He's going down.
I told you. Nobody can hear me. All right, guys. We're going to have a 1-versus-1 debate here. Rare Breed is on one side. Who wants to step up? 5 minutes.
I'll step up.
All right.
We're talking about Haney.
What's the topic again? So it's the clinching illegally or illegal, basically, right?
Haney clinching 50 times last fight. He clinched over 100 times the first fight.
Okay, so did Haney fight dirty?
It's legal.
Did Haney fight dirty? We're going to be...
No.
He doesn't fight dirty? Dude, he's abusing what clinching is supposed to be. I can't believe the referees are not taking points away. I really can't. That's why Haney doesn't sell. That's why Haney that's why nobody goes to his fights. And that's why no one will continue to go to his fights. Watching his fights, I fall asleep every time he fights.
Well, he's not my favorite fighter.
Hold on.
He's not my favorite fighter, but clinching is definitely part of the sport. It's part of the tactics. I mean, whether you like it or not, that's your opinion. It's not legal.
Same is the case.
Bro, honestly, clinching 50 times is part of boxing. That's not what clinching is meant for, bro. And you know it. Stop being disingenuous. Stop saying that to clinch 100 times is a part of boxing. It's not.
You're exaggerating.
Dude, that's why boxing is where it's at, and that's why UFC is where it's at.
Nobody gives a fuck about the UFC. If you want to watch a bunch of dudes hump each other on the
UFC, bro, UFC is worth, what did they sell for? Over $5 billion? You couldn't combine BBC, Top Rank, Matchroom. You couldn't combine all those, Golden Boy, you couldn't match all those promotions together and even get $1 billion. The
problem with boxing is just the matchmaking. If you put the best in boxing fighting each other versus the best in the UFC fighting each other, the boxing will have more views. I promise you.
Yeah, and whose fault is that?
Well, that's the politics. That's boxing. That's correct. That's their fault. But
that's why PBC will not get another network deal, because he has a lot of talented fighters, and he doesn't put anybody against each other, which is bogus. You got the best welterweight division in boxing, and you're not putting any of them against each other. It's ridiculous.
3 minutes.
And let me tell you something right now. You're telling me clinching 50 to 100 times a fight is part of boxing? No, man. That's just taking advantage of the rules. It's bullshit. They need to step in and do something about that. He should be taking away points. We all know what clinching is really for. And it's not for get your punches off, and once you get your punches off, then you clinch. Andre Ward.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a way to basically negate? You know the word I'm trying to use.
Yeah.
Clinches. Because Lomachenko's good at that, right?
Negate. Yeah.
So is it Haney's fault that Kambosos doesn't know how to do that?
Dude, it has nothing to do with.
One more thing.
But I'm saying the fault that. Well, go ahead. You talk, and then I'll talk after.
Okay. If you have a boxer who knows how to move around the ring, is it the other boxer's fault if he can't close off the ring, or is it that boxer who knows how to move well and knows how to box? Whose fault is that?
It's the other boxer's fault.
Exactly. So I mean, you can get mad at Haney all you want, but Kambosos just doesn't have the skills to compete with him. That was obvious. He got completely dominated in 2 fights against Devin Haney. Devin Haney's just a better fighter. You can talk about all the clinching and all that stuff if you want to, but he outclassed him.
Listen, am I saying Devin Haney's not a more talented and better fighter than Kambosos? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, it's unacceptable, dude. That's why he doesn't sell tickets, and that's why he never will.
Well, you sound like the Wilder fans when they got mad at Fury for basically using his body to lean on Wilder to make him tire and hold him. It's part of boxing, bro. Like it is what it is. You gotta be able to get out of that.
Compare Fury leaning and using his body to Haney clinching 50 to 100 times.
It's very similar.
No, it's not.
It's
not
a
even
tactic.
close. Bro, based on your argument, was the Fury Wilder fight, those last 2 fights, actually all 3 fights, were they entertaining fights?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Has one Haney fight for the last 2 fights, have they been entertaining?
The first one, hell.
Dude,
the first one, no. But this second one, yes. To me.
Dude, I fell asleep on both fights.
Well, but now we're just debating opinions.
And he clinched 50 times. Bro, we clinched 50 times.
Now we're just debating opinions. We're not debating.
All right, time's up. Time's up. Time's up. Time's up. Time's up. All right. It was 5 minutes. And according to the poll over here, Rarebit 19%, JDA 81%. So 80. Jay won the debate.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's right. Knockout.
Well, let's be honest. I'm not exactly on a panel that's pro Devin Haney. So I'm just saying.
Don't question the people.
I just told you I was rooting for Haney.
Don't question.
No, not you. I'm talking about the people voting.
All right.
Yeah, because it's not about Haney, dude. It's about what he's doing.
They don't like Haney.
That part. No, he said what he said. We're talking about clinching and it being entertaining. Does it want to make you see more? That's the issue.
Yeah, dude, we're not talking.
Why don't you ask in that same poll? Do you like Devin Haney? It might be like 2%.
It goes back to the same thing. No, because he's not. He's not entertaining.
Okay, so I know, but I'm saying that this poll, there's nothing that I can say for me to win.
Yes, there is.
I can say Devin Haney sucks, so maybe I'll win the poll then.
You can join the side of the truth.
You're an intelligent guy who knows the sport of boxing. You're just being disingenuous, and the whole audience sees that, and that's why you lost. Listen, it has nothing to do with being pro Haney or not pro Haney. It has nothing to do with Haney, dude. It has to do with his style. Well, it has to do with him clinching and taking advantage of that rule. He's abusing it, and it's ruining the sport of boxing, bro.
Yeah, it ruins it because it kills the momentum of the fight. One fighter's being aggressive, trying to make it exciting, while the other guy is trying to kill his momentum with grappling, and that's what they do in the UFC. But on the UFC, that's legal, and I don't think that's a good style for boxing or a good look. It's turning people off. Like,
yeah, it's abusing what clinching is meant for. So I'm going to change my name from JDA to 81%.
Last night I watched Eric Morales versus
it was
Marcos
good debate
Maidana.
with you, my friend. Good debating. No hard feelings.
And Marcos Maidana got hurt. And he tried to clinch, and Eric Morales, he raised his arms and tried to break from the clinch. I would say if you're really hurt, clinch to survive.
Yeah,
right.
Don't clinch all the time to kill the momentum,
that part.
like Chingazo said, and smother the action.
Who's that kid that got knocked out recently? He's like a prospect, Mexican kid.
Royo,
there's plenty.
He should have switched a couple times in that fight.
I'm gonna be honest and genuine. Yes, clinching is a part of the sport. I understand that.
Thank you.
I think sometimes it's necessary, but excessive to illegal clinching is what we're talking about, and that's where you have to be say, hey, I don't like that shit either. It's illegal. It stinks the joint out, but you want to accept it. You want to have us.
Do you want me to be honest?
But that's what
we're be honest.
No, don't be honest. Don't be honest.
I don't like clinching either. I wouldn't want my fighters doing that, but I'm not going to say it's illegal because it's not. As long as the referee allows it, you got to be able to.
It's against the Marco Queensberry rules, and it has not been amended. Holding excessively is a foul, and that's the end of that conversation because it hasn't been amended.
Holding and clinching to me are two different things.
And can we agree something? Can we agree with something like the ref is always gonna lean towards the guy they're building? Like the ref is always gonna be on Devin Haney's side or Shakur Stevenson's side because Top Rank is building those two fighters. And,
wait.
That's how it works.
Do you actually watch Shakur Stevenson? Because he doesn't really clinch like that.
I mean, I thought he was clinching and doing a lot of low blows against Conceição.
No, Conceição. He was the one that was clinching and holding the whole fight. Did you watch that fight? No disrespect.
I was watching it, but honestly, like those fights are boring, bro. I'm not gonna be paying attention 100% to everything that's going on. But
you can't say these things about he's doing this, and if you don't actually watch the fights, then
I saw him clinching. I saw him clinching.
No,
I saw that much.
Okay, who here watched the Conceição Shakur Stevenson fight?
We all did.
I did.
Yeah, I see Rare Breed's point. To Shakur's credit, he's clinched a lot less as his career's gone on. Against Pitufo Diaz, he was clinching whenever there was infighting.
I even seen a judo throw. I even seen a judo throw.
I can see your point about him hitting low. I can see your point about Shakur hitting low on some shots, but he wasn't clinching in that fight. In fact, he was the one initiating offense, and Conceição was the one that was clinching.
In regards to low blows, let me say something real quick. In regards to low blows, for ones that perceived to be low, and I need to clarify what I mean by that, and not necessarily a Shakur fight. First of all, the area of low blow is around the belly button. It's roughly, if your belt's where it's supposed to be, the belly button should be exposed. If the belly button's exposed, the referee dictates from there what constitutes a low blow. Some belt line shots can be low, depending on where the cup is in proportion to the belly button, and the referee's job is to pinpoint at the beginning of the fight, anything below here, I'm going to call low. Now, fighters have learned how to buy into that on, this was below the belt because, he hit me on the belt line, and it might have hurt him, it might not. I don't know their anatomy, and I don't want to know their anatomy, but they know how to kind of weasel that, and if it's legitimately low blow or not. That's why the ref's job is to dictate at the beginning, anything below this point is going to be considered low. And then if they go below that point, it's the referee's job to enforce that. It's the chief second's job to get in there and start yelling at the ref when he's not doing his job.
Yeah. Conceição really wasn't complaining about low blows, so that's his fault.
Yeah, but this goes back to what I said earlier. I mean, the ref is in it, bro, because Shakur Stevenson did hit Conceição in the nuts, and the ref did see it, but he just didn't give a fuck because he doesn't want to take points away from Shakur because he's the guy that's supposed to win. He's the guy that Top Rank has invested money in.
Yeah, I think this is a good topic though, because the ref did take points away from Shakur at different moments, and he selectively enforced the rules of the others, which I think is I think this is an interesting thing to look into. If I could return to the subject of clinching, a lot of infighting could be considered clinching, and I wonder if it's a mix of corruption and incompetence on many referees' parts, where many refs don't allow people to work on the inside, right? Much of the frustration watching Haney was the few times where Kambosos. I mean, it's not a great example because Kambosos isn't a good infighter, but sometimes Kambosos had his neck down and started to kind of vie for position. As soon as he started to get one arm free, the ref would come in and be like, okay, stop. And that just enables the clinching fighter to hold and break up the rhythm without ever paying the price for it, right? Whereas if you were in there with someone like Roberto Duran or
let me just say something real quick.
Well, let me just finish my point, please. If you were in there with someone with more skill, they'd be able to work their way in and start to punish them for trying to grab and hold on the inside.
You could be naive all you want, bro, but if you see Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney with Kenny Bayless, you already know what's going to happen. And that applies to a lot of refs that are out there who are always favoring certain fighters that they like or
can we debate like real? Can we debate real boxing stuff? Not like, oh, the black ref favors the black fighters. Come on, that's bullshit.
Okay, well,
so you think I'm bullshitting? You don't think?
All right, guys. This is a Kumite, so we gotta get some debates.
Like, you can't just say
Let me interject.
Everything you saying, you never have proof about anything, bro.
Let me
interject.
Always
talking shit right here.
Let me interject because I'm partially on your side on this, and I'm partially on Rare Breed's side. If you're going to debate the fact with facts and numbers, you do have to bring those to the table. However, Kenny does favor the guy who pot shots first, holds second, because he doesn't let them work their way out of a clinch. He constantly, the second a clinch starts, if I'm fighting Rare Breed and Rare Breed can pot shot me all day because he can get off first, the second he lays any glove on me, Kenny Bayless immediately says,
find evidence.
All right, guys.
Where Kenny
guys, can you hear me? Yo, guys.
He's questioning my shit.
No, he's not. Like, he's actually trying to explain something. Just let him finish, man.
Listen, I don't know what your name is, but I'm actually backing your point. You're not letting me finish. So if you just let me, we can continue after that. Is that okay? Can you please?
I'm just saying, if he wants receipts, you can get him. You know.
All right, guys, can you hear me? Guys.
The point is, when we're talking about specific referees, Kenny Bayless is one that if you pot shot first and then you go to wrap up, he will say stop and won't let you fight your way out of a clinch, and that is not fair to an aggressive fighter, especially when the referee is supposed to be neutral. So there are referees that will do that. Now, do we have the statistics to back all that up right here? I don't know what your name is, but you don't, neither do I. But I do know that Kenny Bayless is known for, and the evidence is in the pudding, the proof is in the pudding, that he does do that. He does not favor a pressure fighter. He favors someone who fights at range and then can pot shot and hold, and he will break them as soon as they hold. So there are referees out there. Now, whether they're doing that because they're protecting the fighter or that's just the referee style of reffing, that remains to be seen. But there are refs out there that will favor towards a particular style.
All right, let's wrap this topic up because we already debated this one. So let's move on. Remember, this is a Kumite. This is a Kumite. So 1 versus 1.
Wait.
Yes.
Bucho.
I'd really like to debate. I'd really like to. My bad.
Yo, Bucho, brother, man. I just got to give it up for one thing, man. Rare Breed, dude, come on, brother. You coming at somebody with, man, if you don't got proof. Dude, it's like Ted Bundy. That's like Ted Bundy telling, fucking bitching at somebody for a date rape.
To be fair, I did post that article with the Lomachenko. I mean, not Lomachenko, but Canelo asking to fight whatever that dude's name is.
I'm just saying, bro. There's a lot of hypocrisy coming out of you when you say bullshit like, "Oh, where's the proof?" Because you never bring proof about anything, bro.
You don't have to explain it. Just tell me who wrote the article. That's all I'm curious. Who's it by?
It was The Athletic.
Who?
So
The Athletic.
The Athletic?
Yeah, they're like a newspaper, sports.
Yeah, I know The Athletic. I want to read that article, and it states that he asked for that fight. It wasn't a mandate. Is that what you're saying in the article? Yeah. Okay, what's the article?
Let me find it again.
All right.
Hey, Rare Breed, and didn't I post on the Discord? I gave you a real source. I gave you a WBC screenshot.
Yeah, no, dude.
But the WBC, that's who.
Yeah,
come on now.
But that's not even up for debate. He was his mandatory. He was his mandatory before fucking Canelo even got the belt. He was Benavidez's mandatory, but he lost his belt. So that was part of the stipulation. So that's not even up for debate. He didn't ask for Yildirim. I'm curious to see what this knucklehead who wrote this, who he is, and what's his connection to boxing.
Isn't it suspect that a guy like Yildirim became a mandatory in the first place? Don't you have to do stuff to become a mandatory?
Not with the
yes, he addressed that. Maurice Suleiman addressed that after the fight. Again, take Canelo out of it. He has nothing to do with it. That's whether he was the mandatory or not is relevant to Canelo. He's not the one fucking making mandatories. That's the WBC's board. He has a few guys who he depends on, and he said he was going to make changes. I don't know if they did, but he saw the fucking stupidity of that fight.
Jimmy, let's wait for the article for him to find the article eventually, and then we'll move on. Gonzalo, yes.
Didn't he have a close fight with Direll, and he got a headbutt, and so he lost in the 10th round? Where that's why he got the opportunity.
Yeah, someone said that. I don't remember. But anyway, let's move on. Let's guys. Fuck it. let's move on. Another topic. 1v1. Come on. We're stuck with the Charlo and this bullshit about.
Well, I just want to say one thing about the same subject. Like moving forward, if Pitbull Cruz, for example, he fights Devin Haney, for example, and he has no chance of fighting from the outside. Every time the short man comes in on the inside, a referee's not going to allow him to get his shots off. That's fucking crazy, man.
Right.
All right.
New topic.
Yeah, new topic. Let's bring a new topic. Who wants to debate? Fuck. The thing is, I think it's mostly gonna be with Rare Breed here the whole time. We need somebody. we need people from the chat. All these people that were defending.
I'm trying to find a point of contention, but I just can't seem to locate one. To be honest.
Can I say something, Bucho, real quick? I got to change opinion. There's something I said on the show. It'll take 1 second. I rewatched from every angle that fucking punch with Helenius. I'm not saying it was a dive, like he was paid to take that thing out.
Here we fucking
that
go.
motherfucker.
Here we go.
That motherfucker. That shit was not a hard enough punch to put him out like that for 2 minutes.
What makes you say that though?
It looks like an arm punch.
What makes you say that?
Yes. What makes me say that? First off, he's going all the way back. No weight going forward at all. So you can do that. Let me finish. Can I finish, dude?
Yeah.
Going all the way back. When a fighter goes all the way back, I've watched long enough, many years, trained dudes. You can't just when you land, like Pacquiao can do it. A lot of guys, Mayweather was excellent at it. Landing in a minute he lands, boom, pivot his waist, drop down, throw your punches in your arm. Arms don't mean shit. The reason why Wilder, like Tommy Hearns, his power is so inept is because he snaps it out at the end of his punches. The reason why Fury was able to beat him, he crowded that. He negated his power. So here it is. He's literally, and you can go back and watch the fucking guys like, wow, this is insane. He didn't even get anything on that punch.
You guys seen
it was he stepped back. I'm not saying Wilder did anything wrong. It was in on it. I think this dude knew he was getting knocked out. Wanted that money, wanted to get the fuck out of there. And I think he took it as the first right hand he took. I'm just going to count it out. Because he didn't even bend at the knee, didn't snap his waist. It was a nothing but an arm punch at an angle that he basically come down palm first onto the side of his face. And it made a slap sound. And that dude went down and he didn't fold his leg over. He fell back but then dropped his leg out. I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying Wilder was in on it or they even paid him, but I think that dude knew he was going to get knocked out. He walked in with his fucking hands down by his waist. That was so... And then, because all I saw was a highlight, but I didn't get the chance to really dissect it. And a few people who I really respect sent me DMs like, dude, you really need to look at that punch closely because I heard you on the show. I think you need to look at it.
PBC guys.
What's that?
Playing with the video.
Guys have been in and around the sport for decades who don't have any fucking, dude, believe me, they don't give a fuck about the PBC and all the shit we argue about, but they're boxing guys, and it was suspect.
By the way, Jimmy, I posted the article in the comment section, not comments, but Discord.
It wouldn't be crazy.
Don't you think it's crazy? Don't you think it's crazy how the internet troll that went into Wilder gym was able to take the punch better than Helenius, and that internet troll is not even a pro boxer, and he took the punch better than fucking Helenius, and he's
really think he landed clean on that dude?
That's a dumbass argument, though, my guy. He didn't land clean. He definitely didn't land clean on Carly Zelenoff.
He did not land clean on him. He would have killed that.
Also, if that's the case, then that would mean that all of his knockouts are discounted, and he obviously has 41 knockouts, or I don't know, 42 or so out of 43.
I'm just saying, it's funny how an internet troll has more shin than fucking Helenius.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's got crazy power, but it's out the end of his punch like a whip. All the fucking power was out at the end. He didn't even get a chance to bend his waist. He didn't bend his knees. It was like he just suddenly stood there and just slapped the dude across the face. That's basically what he did.
Did you see the angle where you can hear the sound of the punch?
Yeah, it's a slap.
That should sound like
that did not sound like
a fire.
Have you ever hit like the bag with like a mostly open hand? Like it will make a really loud sound. I agree. Charlie Zelenoff is the GOAT. But anyway, Bucho, don't you want to do this Kumite thing? Like I don't think this is worth discussing anymore. Well, at least do it one-on-one.
Yeah, you know what we can do? We can talk boxing, and then we can just keep talking about. Yeah, we can just keep talking about any boxing related topic, and then
let's debate. What's more important, names or belts.
No. But you talk about boxing, and when somebody gets into it with somebody or like a real topic, because that's the only way it's gonna happen. If you try to fix it, it doesn't work like that.
Well, so what I'm trying to say here is that we're gonna just keep talking, and then eventually, like somebody can call somebody out, and then we have a 1-versus-1.
I mean, not for nothing. I thought we were just talking about the legitimacy. Well, I thought he was trying to debate me on whether that was a real punch, but I guess that didn't sit well for somebody.
Well, we can debate that.
I mean, we could all agree it was an arm punch, right? It was just an arm punch. There was he didn't put any power into it.
I mean, I have the fucking video. Jimmy, I have the video.
Punch, it wasn't a Malik Scott fucking punch.
I have the video.
That looks suspect. I'm not gonna lie.
Malik Scott was like hitting the arm. That was ridiculous.
That was a dive. But I mean, in that one,
it was like a 6-inch punch or something. Some Bruce Lee shit.
Well, one thing I noticed about Laney is...
Wait. Let me say something. You know what? You know how crazy it is? Even mainstream media is talking about it. Bill Simmons, I don't know if anybody follows other sports, was even talking about how it looked
like a basketball writer or something like that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Bill Simmons got crazy Swarovski eyes, he's got he's got dead soul. There's something wrong with him.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, even mainstream, it's carried so far in the mainstream media, and it wasn't. Oh wow, look at Walter's knockout. It was looks sus as hell.
Boxing, so they're being honest.
But there's a guy a few years back on Deadspin. He was a famous promoter. He set up a lot of Tyson fights, and he talked about the Malik Scott knockout. And he was like, "This was definitely fixed." He set up the Tyson fight with that big white guy, the guy who went down on in the first minute and a half. I don't know if you guys ever read that, but that was a good article.
Bruce Seldon, I think.
No, Pat Neely. Pat Neely or something. I think was his name.
Peter McNeely.
Peter McNeely. Hurricane Peter McNeely. The one who had a poem at the beginning. I think it was Tyson's first fight back.
Yeah, but let's be clear on what a fix is. Wait. We have to, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a fix where he was paid to go down. He could have just. But people would say he came to lay down. He didn't come for a fight. So people are watching. You buy a fight, you're casual, and you see a guy. You're like, wait, that didn't look like what I wanted to see. I paid for. You want to see a guy at least. You want to see people get tested. So fixes. You got to determine people are trying to say it was fixed because it got paid off. That's not. It doesn't have to necessarily be true. He didn't come to win.
You're right there, but I would say that still qualifies as a fix, right? Because the network and the promoters know this guy's not in here to win. They know that kind of going into it. They don't know exactly what his how to gauge it, and there's some
he's a
potential that he might start fighting.
Said that he didn't know how the fucking happened.
But they know.
He had no idea how he knocked the guy out. If you listen to Wilder in the post fight, he goes, "I don't even know how it happened." Like
that's really funny. Yeah. He's like,
there's no substantiation on those claims, so to me, that's just a big ass fucking what if. Like that shit means nothing, but hey, it is what it is.
What I will say was really sus to me were two things. Like one, like Jimmy mentioned, the whole fight, Helenius was coming in with his hands down. He was almost like telegraphing everything he was going to do.
Yeah, but
he looked like he was making eye contact with Wilder the whole time. And his punches didn't seem like they were convincing. Like he was trying to land them. But the second one was the way he went down. He looks up at the ref as soon as a little after he hits the canvas, and it seems like he could get up, but just
me, it's all about. Can I say something? When a dude is out cold, like where dude's on his back, eyes open, out cold, you can always see it in their breathing is erratic. Their lips will quiver.
He was blinking.
Their arms will fucking stiffen. You remember when the quarterback got knocked out in football? Did you see his arms, his fingers went all fucking bent and twisted?
Mangled.
Yeah, dude. So your body acts a certain way. He was too loose and just breathing normal. When you're out cold, zinged, where your eyes are open, it's like it's the same sound they make when people get shot in the head. It's gross sound.
Do you guys remember when what's that British guy that fought Crawford? Kell Brook. He basically ran into Crawford's jab and got knocked out.
It was like a jab. It was like a football jab.
It was from the hip.
Like a
but either way,
totally different.
The hips turned. That was a hard punch.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Dude,
I'm using that as an example because
I broke that
basically he ran into it, which gave more power to the punch, which is basically what Hellenius did. He ran into the punch.
No, he walked into it, and it was.
He walked into it.
But yeah, he walked into it. But what Crawford did was spin at the waist, dude. He chopped it at the same toe. He steps a little to the right, and as he does, he drags his hips and his waist into it. It's an excellent fucking.
Oh yeah, well, also Crawford is bigger
pounds. He's 147 pounds. Like,
I know.
There's a drastic difference in leverage, and also he's what 5'8", so.
But he was also punching down.
It doesn't take much to knock a man out, especially at the size of Wilder, and like he has pretty big hands too, from what I've seen, and a lot of leverage.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, but Hellenius is supposed to have more resistance because he's a heavyweight.
Yeah,
so it evens it out.
And he did Washington as not Hellenius out before, so like how good is his chin?
It's planted. There's no
dude. Bro, are you
breaking up? Breaking up.
Yeah, but that's
like a robot, bro. And shit.
And that's just it too. But somebody keeps saying, I just want to say, somebody keeps saying, well, he he got a lot of leverage. There was no leverage on that punch. Yeah, no, there was no leverage on that.
I really wonder if Hellenius would have.
When you punch, God, Jesus Christ, rare breed. Fuck, never mind. No, go, dude. Obviously, it's that important, dude. So finish what you're saying.
Okay. I was going to say, I wonder if we would care so much if Hellenius would have knocked out Wilder that.
Here we go.
I'm just saying.
Come on. But really, thank you. That's what you had to interrupt me with.
It just changed the whole debate. Wow. Yeah, he just exposed you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't like what
I sure did. Just kidding.
Well, and again, the punch was coming at a down angle. You lose power when you're coming down, and his forearm was leading the way. It was just all wrong. Guys who aren't even into boxing knew it was all wrong. The fucking Boston here on the radio show, those guys never even talk about boxing. And Maz brought it up for a second. He's like, "That's the fuck." Oh, that was a weird looking punch that sent the guy out. He goes, "That dude either has the biggest glass jaw in the history of boxing or something. That was a fishy looking punch." And he's just a fucking casual guy at best. And then. And then he didn't actually even catch him in the jaw. Remember, you get hit in the eye, the temple, that can be a little tricky, but the jaw, that's the button. That's what you can do a test yourself and tap yourself in the jaw and anywhere else in the head. You'll notice your eyes will fucking fluctuate and get shaky the most in the jaw. And that's not where he hit him, so you could say maybe he clipped him in the jaw. It's a suspect looking punch. I'm telling you right now, there was nothing on that. There was no leverage. It was a total arm punch.
I don't think it is, man. I don't know. Like just his head turned, like that's really difficult to fake. I don't know, man. That shit's difficult to fake.
I don't know. The man had like multiple KO losses to a bunch of journeymen. I mean,
to Gerald Washington, like, bro, this guy is a former football player.
I
don't know.
What? Yeah, but but him fighting a former football player has nothing to do with that. Was not a legitimate knockout punch. It wasn't Wilder's knockout punches out at the end of his power. Why do you think in close he couldn't do shit? The reason why when he was in close against Fury, he was getting fucking beat like a fucking someone who owed him money because he has no power on the inside. It's all at the outside of his punches.
Hey guys, in the chat, the Quacks is saying, the Quacks with a contribution is saying, Wilder looks like he's knocking on, the Quack says, Wilder looks like he's knocking on a door. It's true. It's not even. But the thing is, the thing is, like BDA mentioned, it's true. Hellenius' leg is kind of like twisted a little bit. Like I don't know if you're gonna fake a knockout. Like look at the Malik Scott. He just like super fake. But I'm not sure because I'm for this one I'm not sure because the punch it doesn't look like there's a lot of power in there. But Hellenius' legs, one of his leg. I think his right leg is like bending in a little bit. Like that's when you're out. You have no control of your legs, and but
maybe he did get dropped, right? But I think that like what Jimmy said, he got hurt a little bit and decided to just call it there.
Yeah.
I think that's the most likely thing.
Exactly. I think he could have got a flash knockdown. He could have been rough a little, but once he went down. He was off balance, and when he caught that and he went down, he was just like, fuck this. He was waiting for that first opportunity to call it a night. The dude he would have to train for 6 months, his ass off just to be a bum. And fucking, I'm just being honest, dude's horrible. I knew the fight was going to be terrible because the dude's terrible, but that was ridiculous. That was not a fucking good punch.
You know what's suspicious? What's suspicious is in the heavyweight division, especially, people are real tentative. Think about Anthony Joshua versus Pooley. Real tentative, because one punch can change everything. And I understand that Hellenius, he really starts slow most of the time. But right now, this fight, he came out guns blazing. And yeah, he carries his hands low, but he was super aggressive. When he would have dialed it down a little bit, he would have had a better chance of winning. So that was a stupid game plan, and it's really suspect.
Hellenius always fights like that, though. His hands are always at his waist. You can go watch the Kanaki fight. His hands weren't up. So like that.
They're always low, but he's a slow starter.
I think he just got caught cold, man. I don't know. I just think he got caught really cold, and he just didn't expect the punch at all.
I just think he had a shit chance.
And that as well. I agree with that.
Yeah, I believe Hellenius took a dive mainly because of the location of the glove that landed on him and the location of where it's held. You know that Kim Kardashian celebrity boxing event that happened like a month ago? You know, I saw the harder punches in that fucking fight than what that knockout was on Saturday night.
Hey guys, I have a good topic here that we can debate. Maybe 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2, like a tag team. All right. So somebody right now on the Open Lines Discord, Cole. Cole just posted this. Cole posted this, and I'm gonna read it to you. It's about comparing Canelo with Andre Ward. And it says, Andre Ward fought only one prime undefeated world champion his entire career, Kovalev. That was the guy. Canelo Alvarez has fought 4 prime undefeated world champions in his last 6 fights. Bivol Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Callum Smith. And then
none of those guys compare to Kovalev.
They also went on to say, hold on. Before Andre Ward dared to fight the one and only prime undefeated world champion in his entire career and benefited from 2 extremely controversial fights, Andre Ward took 3 consecutive tune-up fights against 3 fighters that have never been world champions: Paul Smith, Sullivan Barrera, and Alexander Brand. So, who wants to debate this? Canelo versus Andre Ward. Who had the better career? Even though Canelo is not even retired yet.
Wait, who had a better career?
Yeah,
I think this is my topic right here.
Yeah, I think I
not even a debate.
I'll take Andre Ward. Why?
All right.
No way. I'll take the Andre Ward position.
Okay.
Andre Ward is the GOAT.
Yeah.
Mucho.
My sober half, as I call him.
So your topic doesn't even make any sense.
What do you mean it doesn't make sense? Like, who had a better record?
I already won one debate. Let Jimmy debate this one.
Well, I'll take Canelo.
Okay, okay, so we got Jimmy with okay.
Oh man!
All right.
Hey, whoever is defending Andre Ward, just know you have no chance whatsoever.
I am Andre Ward. I've never lost a fight since I was 12.
I understand, but just you gotta understand this sport is full of Canelo fans.
I'm a true winner. I am a true winner. I always find a way to win.
All right. So what are you gonna do? Start off with give your summation on why you think he's better, and then I'll give my summation. Then if you want to just what?
Yeah, we can do that. How much time would you guys need though? Is it a 2 versus 2?
Minutes tops.
How much time? 10 minutes?
2 minutes each? No, 2 minutes each. Just a fight. Yeah,
no, what I'm saying in total.
5 minutes. We'll just bang this shit out. Move on to the next.
All right.
Yeah. Why don't need to drag it on?
Yeah, Pucho, start off at 5, and if they need more time, then we'll
exactly. Good idea. Yeah. By the way, Kill or Be Killed in the chat. Thank you for the super chat. He says, salute, definitely a fake knockout. Salute from the CCD. All right, salute back. He thinks he's a fake knockout like a lot of people thought. All right. 2 versus 2 then. So Rare Breed is on the side of Andre Ward, and who else was
Does anybody, seriously, is anybody calling this dude? Does anybody call you a dumbass for your opinions?
What?
Who said that?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Somebody said dumbass.
Because just ignore it, Jimmy. There's a lot of people that are.
It wasn't me.
Disrespectful.
It's like seriously.
All right.
But they caught you on camera. It wasn't me.
I just want to say something to get it out of the way. I don't really want to talk about this, but you know what?
Wait, is this a 2-on-2 or 1-on-1?
Jimmy,
Heroes interrupted,
Rare
man.
Breach
Hey, you know
just
what?
got hurt because I whipped
Some of the
his
opponents,
ass.
some of the opponents that Canelo fought.
Hey, Bucho,
they're
make it
back to
2-on-2.
This
Oh,
motherfucker.
let Gonzalo finish. Let Gonzalo finish.
If you guys want to make it 2-on-2, I'll jump in.
All right, Gonzalo, go ahead.
Some of these opponents that Canelo's beat, they're back to their winning ways. Caleb Plant knocked out Lenin Castillo. Kovalev went up to cruiserweight, took out Turbo Pulev. And who's the other guy? The Canelo fought Callum Smith. Caleb Plant. He's doing. Those guys are doing all right.
Yeah, okay, Gonzalo. Well, Gonzalo, we're gonna start the debate. If you want to join the debate, then let me know, and you can tell everybody what you just said. So, So it's Jimmy on the Andre Ward side. It's Rarebreed on the. Sorry, it's Jimmy on the Canelo side. Rarebreed on the Ward side. Who else wants to jump in? 2 versus 2.
It's me on the Ward side.
Ah, you're joking, man, right?
Part of this? No, yeah, it's me. I am Andre Ward. Who else?
Okay. All right.
I'll jump on the Canelo side if you guys.
All right, that's it. We got it.
I got
that's it. That's it. Let me just mute everybody who's not gonna be in the debate.
Set the timer.
Set the timer. All right. Timer. 5 minutes. All right, here we go. Start. Somebody start.
Okay, I'll start. Yeah. So,
oh my God, you're breaking up, man, Andre. You can't debate like this.
Promotional. Oh, you can't hear me?
Now I can. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, unlike the Golden Girl Canelo, who was the beneficiary of promotional and judging favors throughout his career, Andre Ward had to, create his own legacy, fighting rough and tough contenders all the way through, such as Darnell Boone in his 6th fight, and Saki Obika and Edson Miranda, foes the like of which Canelo would crumble before, with his delicate hands and cement-like feet. Andre Ward was never rocked by the likes of Miguel Cotto, his brother, the discount Cotto, I should say, the balding discount Cotto. And I also beat Mikhail Kessler. He wasn't undefeated, but he only lost to Joe Calzaghe when he was very young. He's been reigning undefeated for a long time. Ward beat Arthur Abraham in the Super 6, a tournament that Canelo would never submit himself to, despite his talking about his obese inconsistency and such nonsense. And yeah, Ward, when you look at the eye test, had a much more sophisticated style, employed many more layers of defense, had a much higher plus minus connect percentage than Canelo, and was a more dynamic fighter. And if they fought, Ward would have been the victor. If Canelo would even take that fight. And I don't believe Canelo ever destroyed an undefeated in his prime fighter the way Ward did Chad Dawson. So if Ward didn't have as spectacular highlights, it was only because he wasn't given the chance. So I think
Canelo's side, go ahead, Canelo.
All right, me.
That was beautiful.
That was great talking points. Yeah, I'll say he did. Ward, I will even give you this. Extremely high ring IQ, very cerebral fighter. He did what he had to win, including, now you want to talk about A side. Let's start off with Canelo gets things his way. We're talking about a dude who would never travel to fight anybody. Not only wouldn't he travel to fight anybody, everybody he fought, it was all to his whims of how thick the pad on the ring was, the size of the ring, even the type of gloves. He wouldn't let guys use puncher gloves. He'd just walk away from the fight.
Jimmy.
What's up? Oh, sorry, I'm breaking up. All right. He signed a contract. Nobody held a gun to his head. And because he just wanted to renege on the contract and just thought he was worth more, he put himself on the shelf for 2 years. All right. So, yeah, when he came back, he fought Buckingham, a bunch of nobodies. He needed 3 warm-ups for Kovalev, who absolutely beat him in that first fight. The same Kovalev that fucking Canelo knocked out. Canelo unified the 168-pound division, something Ward never did. He's won championships now in 4 divisions. How many Canelo? I mean, Ward 2. His accolades are better. He's got a higher championship. He's a Mexican kid who's got the #1 indoor record in U.S. history at 73,000. Ward, his biggest fights ever were against Kovalev, 2 pay-per-views that absolutely bombed. They just didn't do well. He never caught on with the fans. HBO, you said that he wasn't given a chance. HBO made him the face of boxing, of their channel. They tried to sell him over and over, but because of his demanding everything be his own way, wouldn't go, and then making fighters like Chad Dawson, who was completely emaciated for that fight, sucked him down to weight. Yeah.
Jimmy,
so
can I add something real quick?
Yeah, you can jump in there, dude. No, absolutely, jump in, brother.
Dude, you lied, bro. You lied to make a point, because you said that Ward defeated an undefeated Shaw Dawson, but Shaw Dawson had already gotten his ass kicked by Jean Pascal. He wasn't undefeated when Ward beat him. So why do you have to lie to make a point, bro?
Well, maybe he made a mistake.
That was I guess I did make a mistake, but that was
we'll give you that, dude.
Anyway.
No, man. He's a stand-up dude. We'll give him that.
You're right.
Okay, you made a mistake. That happens. Okay, it was a misunderstanding from my end. I thought you were doing it on purpose. But you also said that Canelo was the golden child, this and that. But how I remember it, Ward is the one with the gold medal, and he got hired right away by a promotion. And you already know how gold medalists have recognition for having a gold medal. Well, Canelo wasn't even in the Olympics, bro. He came in out of nowhere, and the only reason Canelo started getting a little bit of popularity was because there was YouTube videos of him back in like 2005 when he was a 15, 16-year-old and he was beating 30-year-olds. And that's what gave him a little bit of recognition, and he earned it. It's not like it wasn't free, bro. Like I don't get it.
And with all, and they propped him up, brother. HBO, and no matter what, it didn't help. A kid from Kazakhstan came in and started outselling him, and by knocking everybody out. So what did he do? He attacked the kid on the same promotion. He called him Little G. He's the one who started that, and now he's doing the same thing to Canelo with his bullshit he's saying about him on social media. But he retired at 32. Instead of fighting all those fucking.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, may I quickly rebut?
Let me.
Do I get to speak?
Let my guy finish.
Rare Breed hasn't spoken.
Okay, go ahead, Rare Breed then.
All right. So first of all, Andre Ward is the only one between those two that beat a prime fighter in their prime. Because at that time when he beat Kovalev, he was top 5 pound for pound. That's a fact. I believe he's actually like number 3. Canelo doesn't have anything like that on his resume.
Exactly. The second
even Triple G fans agree that at the time he fought Triple G.
No, they don't now. Show us the proof to that.
Austin Trout, bro.
I didn't.
Hold up. It's a lot to ask of me to not only have to defend Andre Ward, but I have to defend it with Rare Breed making points on my side. So, jeez, it's a tall mountain to climb here.
You can't say even Triple G fans would agree. You can't say that. That's not a talking point.
A lot of Triple G fans say that he was not in his prime when he fought Canelo the first time. He was 36 years old. What 36-year-old fighters in their prime?
He was 35, wasn't he?
35. He was 36. He was 36.
Okay, yeah. Maybe a little bit on the downside, but still.
At 36.
But he was still more dangerous than fucking anybody. Fucking Canelo. What's his name? And why did he retire? Yeah, why did he retire?
Was knocking everybody out.
And then Kovalev got knocked out by Canelo. And who knocked? And
how old was Kovalev?
Who doesn't? You just. But it doesn't matter. He put him out. It does
matter. Age matters in boxing.
All right, but he put him out.
He was only like a year and a half older, bro.
But Canelo also started as a welterweight. Fucking your boy started at 160. What do you mean? Here we go.
Okay,
Came up 5 fucking divisions to do it.
All If we're gonna go back to Canelo's humble beginnings, I remember a fighter by the name of Miguel Vasquez who Canelo robbed on the way up, which certainly started the precedent for the rest of his career, robbing Erason Diwara, arguably robbing Austin Trout. No, I do. 100%. That's a legit thing. I'm not even being. I'm not even. No, that's not even. That's not even a devil's
guys. Let me handle that. Hold on. I'm gonna add. Guys, we've been going on for 8 minutes. We're gonna add last 3 minutes, and then we're gonna have to end it. So 3 minutes. Go.
Yeah. All right, I just want to. Let me address that. Let me address that Trout comment. Trout himself, at the end of the fight, before they announced the cards, went over and handed him the belt. And his whole family
because there was open scoring. Because there was open scoring, and so he just has a resignation. Anyway, the Trout fight is not what I'm focusing. The Trout fight is not what I'm focusing on. Yeah, he got dropped. Sure, Trout was an arguable thing, but the Lara one was a clear Lara victory that Canelo robbed him of, and he wanted nothing to do with that fight.
You guys want to bullshit us, bro?
And then, of course,
I'm letting you talk. If you're putting out, you gotta point out facts, bro. I don't give a shit about your opinion. Because I think fucking Ward retired because B-Boy was coming up and better beef, and that's my opinion, bro. And I'm not bringing it up because that's my opinion.
And then, of course, that's not to even mention the greatest robbery of the decade against Triple G twice, really. Triple G beat him twice. Right? I don't remember. Andre Ward got a unanimous 114, 113. Unanimous. Every single judge had that fight. Every single judge had that fight scored the exact same way.
Facts, bro.
Every single. Yeah, I'm just trying to speak, and this guy just jumps in. He thinks the louder he speaks. Really high IQ stuff there.
Hold on. All right, go ahead, Irish.
Yeah, just to wrap up, I already mentioned the robberies there. As far as the Kovalov decision, every single judge had to fight the exact same way. Fights are scored on a round-by-round basis. Kovalov had a good start, but Ward started to figure him out. And goes, there you go. You have to fucking interrupt me because you have the IQ of a fucking donkey. You can't make a point with a sustain. You can't, keep 2 or 3 things in your head. Just like Canelo who stands there and only
finish your point.
Yeah, like I said, all the judges had the fight scored the exact same way.
Motherfucker.
Fuck up, motherfucker.
All right, go ahead. I muted the guy.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Kovalev had an early start. Great, Ward started to figure him out. He started to counter him with a check hook. He started to go to the body. You can watch that fight. And, it's a controversial decision, but in the rematch, it was a definitive victory. Ward had, the gold medal to start. He had a really rough climb. He beat every single hard contender. Just fighting undefeated guys like some of the bums Canelo knocked off is not some a great feat. A lot of the people that Ward fought were seasoned, underappreciated fighters, and he beat them all convincingly. Like Pika, like Edson Miranda, Castro.
All right, we ran out of time. Should we let? Okay, no chingasos. I'll let you speak.
I didn't
now.
even get to say anything.
Yeah, go ahead, and nobody interrupt. Go ahead.
Look, fucking Ward retired with only 7 wins against fucking former champions, bro. Like, come on, how is that comparable to Canelo, who already beat 19 world champions, former world champions? Like, how is that even comparable? Not only that, but
that's
Ward
a pretty big thing.
Ward only won 5 fucking world championships. Canelo already won 11 world championships. Like,
that's where the mic just got slammed.
Yeah.
Like,
all right. Well, we're gonna have to end this debate. Let's guys, we gotta end it at some point. We gotta debate. Hold on, we gotta end it, and let's look at the poll. Who won?
It's funny, but it's
hold on. Let me say
debate, Andre.
Pro Ward 8%, pro Canelo 92%. All right, so
surprise.
Rarebit keeps disagreeing with the people in the chat, but anyways,
no, just a Canelo Discord. I knew that, but
that's what it is.
I thought.
It's just obvious, bro. It's just obvious. It's pretty obvious that Canelo has the better career.
I just want to say you did a good job. No, just you
No
did a good
offense,
job.
Jimmy, but I thought Irish Andrew Ward kind of washed you because he was bringing out like real numbers, and you were talking about ticket sales.
Yeah, but he didn't bring up. Listen, Real Breed. That's funny because listen, no disrespect to Andre because he's a good dude, but he was talking about mentioning guys he fought. What numbers did he bring up? Because numbers, fucking Canelo crushes them. Canelo crushes them in every way. You want to talk numbers and numbers of fucking champions fought, a number of titles, number of divisions. Please, number of pay-per-view sales, and all numbers, no matter what metric you use, Canelo crushes them. But nice try. Hey, but good job, Andre.
Yeah,
good
brother. Thanks, man.
Don't you guys think it's funny how Andre Ward spent all his career at 168, but he was never able to go for undisputed?
No, wait.
Well, Canelo fucking won undisputed.
No, the debate is over. Okay, enough bringing up points. I mean, I just want to say,
let's move on.
Let me just say one thing.
It's a fact, bro. Canelo won undisputed in a year.
All right, that's it, guys.
And that's Canelo's real weight class.
Steroids. Andrew Ward didn't fucking test positive for steroids. That's a fucking fact. That's a fucking fact.
Andrew Ward is not a cheater.
We open the debate.
Mike.
Dude, Computerol is not a steroid.
I don't even fucking like Ward. I don't like Ward. I think he's a fucking piece of shit. But at least he didn't fucking test positive.
You already know Canelo tested positive for Clambuter. Why do you keep calling it steroid, bro?
All right.
We need to help him out.
How can I mute everyone?
Come on.
Oops, I fucked it up.
American bastards.
All right, guys, I have to start muting everybody because it's
the fucking point of Clenbuterol can be used.
Right,
it's a storm. It's a storm.
All right, hold on, man. We can't just go on like crazy. Everybody, please. Now, I don't know this new guy. I don't know his name because I can read whatever the fuck it's written, but maybe somebody wants to debate him. He's talking about the PEDs and Canelo testing positive.
Yes.
Who wants to?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know. What's your name?
I'm gonna change my name. Just call me Keith.
Keith.
Sounds like he sounds like the guy from Train Spotting who threw the beer over the railing.
Amazing.
Oh my lucky charms over the rainbow.
All right, hey, Keith, do you want to make a point so maybe people can debate you? Like, do you want to present an argument?
The point with Canelo, yeah.
Canelo?
Yes.
So basically, this guy is being caught red-handed with cheating. He's used people are shifting the goalposts with drugs. They're shifting the goalposts with drugs. He's used a performance-enhancing drug. They're calling SARMs. Well, SARMs is apparently not a fucking performance-enhancing drug. It is. It's a cheating drug. You're not supposed to fucking use it.
I love his accent, man.
Okay. All right. So who wants to debate him or who disagrees?
Found in meat. That's a fact.
Yeah, he did get called. I can't. Who can debate it? He did get. He popped dirty from Computerol. I believe it was in the parameters for meat because I don't think he would have wasted his time with Computerol. But I'm not going to argue that he was on shit.
He's saying that there's double standards. He's saying that there's double standards, guys. Basically saying that there's double standards, right? So that's what he's saying, guys. So who wants to debate that?
Even Mayweather got caught.
I think they all fuck with it, man. I think most guys do, to be honest with you.
So you're dismissing, Jimmy? Are you dismissing what
the debate would be?
It's like coming home with a bad report card and saying all your classmates got a F2, so it's okay.
Mayweather got caught after the Pacquiao fight.
And there's guys who have taken them. You can tell by just things in their body, like injection marks in their abdomen. A person with a mesomorph body style with late adolescent fucking gynecomastia almost never happens unless you're on tons of testosterone.
That may be true, but unless there's proof, I don't want to make accusations.
Even Jerron Ennis too. He has like a little bit of gyno as well.
All right. So what are we saying here? So what we're saying here is that we're gonna dismiss positive test at this point, right? So it doesn't matter.
Right. No. Of course it matters. That's a negative. Of course it does, right?
Everybody
How can it not?
Okay.
No, I just conceded to that point.
Okay.
Positive, Canelo did test positive.
What can you do?
Then he also got exonerated.
Triple G beat Canelo while he was on steroids.
True.
That's why Triple G is one of the greats.
Now all of a sudden everybody's like a Triple G fan. Hey guys,
no, I just don't like
Triple G on steroids. Well, we just don't.
Triple G wasn't even getting drug tested back in 2013, 2014, and they admitted it. You know. And there was a lot
super sardonic. Everyone's on PEDs.
Was on steroids. And
do you think?
Hey guys.
This guy will still defend Canelo.
All right, hold on, guys. I need to read like a super chat here from Vladdy V. He says Lomachenko versus Haney debate. Who would win? Is that a debatable? Who wants to say? Is it a debate that? Like
I'd rather debate Shakur Stevenson because to me that's a more winnable fight.
Okay, Shakur versus Loma.
Yeah, Shakur versus Loma. Let's do
Never
that.
lose to the white boy. Devin Haven would never lose to the white boy. He said that himself. So you know.
Well,
I mean,
that might come back to haunt him, but we'll see.
He hasn't lost to a white boy so far.
I think Lomachenko.
I wouldn't lose either.
I think Shakur is the harder fight.
Yeah, I
That is
agree.
a hard fight.
Yeah, I think Shakur beats him.
I don't. If anyone beats Lomachenko, I believe it would be Shakur Stevenson. But who want to debate the Haney versus Loma? I'm down.
Who wants to debate Haney versus Loma?
Loma.
I'm Loma side. You already know that.
What side do you have? What side do you have?
Yeah.
I could easily be pro.
Loma side. So who want to debate?
I don't know.
Loma?
Who's gonna be on Haney's side?
We agreed that Haney gets the clinch 100 times the fight, and he's okay with it.
I mean, I'm more of a Shakur guy. I'd rather debate using him, but if you want to do Devin Haney,
I like
that's 50-50 to me. You're going to have to find somebody else for Devin Haney.
But
Lomachenko is an aggressive fighter. Lomachenko's an aggressive fighter.
Who has Haney and who has Loma? It's not even a debate.
All right.
Let's you trying to debate.
All right, guys.
Make it Shakur, and I'll debate for Shakur.
Shakur versus Loma. Who wants to jump in? 2 versus 2. 2 versus 2.
I'll be Shakur. I'll be Shakur.
I'm not debating that, man.
That's a hard
That's very difficult to call.
Wow.
I want to see how Loma looks in his next fight before I even say
I
anything.
want to debate against Haney.
You already saw him against the Japanese guy.
Yeah,
That's
but
And then the African, what's his name?
Look, just
so long
how
ago,
about this? How about this? People debate who they think will come out of those four: Tank, Haney.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, if they're trying to make supposedly they're trying to make the Haney Lomachenko fight, the only thing that's going to prevent that from happening is Haney going to 140. Isn't that the more relevant one to debate?
Haney wants to
still go to 140. Did you see him? I'm at the way in. He looked like he was about to die.
I want to debate the Haney Loma.
Debate Haney at 140. How about that?
Hey, Haney Teofimo Lopez.
That's the most realistic fight.
Oh, Devin wins that easily.
Wait, who?
Nah,
Devin beats Teofimo easy.
Teofimo beats the fuck out of Haney.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, Teofimo is way
He beats Haney beats Teofimo easily. He's never faced a power puncher.
Nothing like that.
Gonzalo, I'm disappointed in you, bro. When are we gonna learn power does not win you fights? Look what Savannah Marshall did against Clarissa Shields. Skills.
That doesn't count.
You're telling me this dude likes to clinch on the inside. He's never faced a power puncher. His chin is questionable.
Power this.
You're saying that he don't have a chance of landing a shot in the
power to win fights.
All right, listen, I'm judging this.
If you land power, of course.
Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury.
All right, listen, for now on,
Deontay Power don't win fights.
Let Gonzalo finish, but listen, can I just say too? I'm not in this debate, but anybody who compares men's boxing to 2-minute rounds with women again is automatically kicked out.
Please, thank you, Jimmy.
Come on.
All right, guys.
Debate women's boxing into this
Tyson
shit.
Fury versus Deontay Wilder.
You talking about power don't win fights? You're a big Deontay Wilder fan. Fucking
okay, listen.
Man.
Okay, Gonzalo. Can I ask you a question?
Can I
ask you a question, Gonzalo? Who has more power, Joshua or Usyk?
Bro.
Answer the question. Obviously, it was Joshua, right?
Of course, it's Joshua. He's a larger man.
Pay the fucking bill.
Yeah, because Haney's Usyk.
No, okay. but what you're basically saying, telling me, the 100%.
Pacquiao Mayweather.
No. Hold on. Let me fucking see. Let me reply. You're saying that 100 out of 100 times, skills is always going to beat a power puncher.
Most of the time, it will.
Jackson? What about Terry Norris? What about Jerome McClellan? What about all the power punchers? What about Gennady Golovkin? What about
Marvin
guys that
Hagler.
can punch
Chavez versus
and
Pernell Whitaker?
Kovalev? What about Manny Pacquiao? Guys that can punch and box. See, a
And
punch is not
who
always
did they lose
limited to
to?
just being a
Marvin
punch.
Hagler.
Who did they
Marvin
lose to?
Yeah, guys that can punch. But what you're
Well,
basically
actually,
saying
Marvin
that a guy
Hagler did lose to Sugar Ray Leonard.
what? No, hey, look, I'm gonna explain to you. Let me finish this real quick. What you're basically saying that a guy that has power can't be a good boxer.
Let me debate Gonzalo real quick.
I told you to let me finish. I told you to let. We're basically. I'm gonna repeat. I'm gonna start again. What basically you're saying that a guy that has punching power can't have boxing ability. That's a fallacy. Now let me finish. A guy that can't punch and can box can never become a puncher, really, unless he sits down on his punch like Caden Plant did. But most of the time, when you can't crack, you're never going to be like that power puncher. You're kind of born with it. Now we're talking about like the eraser. Yeah, you can certainly sit down and punch. But a guy that can't punch usually will never become a Gennady Golovkin. Now, a Gennady Golovkin or a Kovalev that can punch can usually become a better boxer. Look at Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, he can punch, but when he moved up in class, he kept it moving, and he was picking and poking at these larger guys, rocking them off their axes, dropping them, and keeping them honest. When a guy can crack, go ahead.
Okay, but your point was that Teofimo would beat Devin Haney because he's got more power. That's all you said. You didn't say any nuance or anything like that. When Manny Pacquiao fought Floyd Mayweather, everybody was saying that Manny was going to knock out Floyd because he's got power, right? But he got completely outboxed. The skill fighter usually beats the power puncher most of the time. That's just the way it is.
Okay, now what I was trying to, I didn't get a chance to, because obviously it was like, I just mentioned it, but look at what we've been mentioning about Haney. How on the outside, yeah, he can land his ones and twos, but when he collapses the pocket or the two fighters come together, he ties up and he doesn't allow the other fighter an opportunity to work on the inside. Now, if Teofimo Lopez, he's a counter puncher, but obviously if he gets on the inside or they have a little squabble to where they exchange punches, you're telling me that if Teofimo lands, he can't hurt Haney? He can't hurt Haney if he doesn't tie up? Or if he get away with landing a punch on the inside? Because this is boxing. Everybody's going to land at some point.
Do you think?
Of course.
All right.
Haney
ties up. Wait, hold up. Let me make one more point, and then it can be time's up.
What you're saying that skills pays the bills, and because you're skilled and talented, that means that you're never going to get caught with the punch, and that for those reasons, the boxer's always going to beat the puncher. That's ironic. That's a fallacy.
Yeah, no, this is the people. These are the people that kept saying that Wilder just has to land once. You know, it doesn't matter who he's fighting. The puncher, if he lands one shot,
Teofimo is not Wilder.
Yeah, it's true. So there you go. It's over. Anyways,
in regards to the skills, the tying up and the not allowing the other fighter, because we mentioned this about Haney, shows a lack of ability to fight on the inside. So mostly he's scared to catch a punch that he doesn't see coming in the inside, because he's usually a fighter that comes in and out and he uses ones and twos. He got a good jab. He's got a good right hand like he showed up against Cambosos. But obviously in boxing, when you're finished punching, the other dude's going to get a chance to get his shots off. And that's just fucking boxing, dude.
You've been talking about.
So Teofimo's not
all right, Gonzalo, let Red breathe, because he's okay. Go ahead, Red breathe.
Okay, so first of all, Teofimo, his style is tailor made for a Devin Haney. To give Devin Haney issues, you need like a pressure fighter. That's why even Floyd Mayweather struggled. The guys who gave Floyd the most trouble were pressure fighters like Maidana. A counter puncher like Teofimo Lopez could never beat a Devin Haney. He's going to get outboxed easily.
Yeah.
So you need somebody like a.
All right. Last point. All right, whatever. Do we debate? Guys, we're just going back and forth between Gonzalo and Rarebreed. So what do we do here?
That's possible. That's possible. What my thing about with Rarebreed, that he talks in absolutes. He's saying that a puncher will never beat a pure boxer. That's not true. That's all.
History's littered with contraries
I
to
didn't say all the time. I'm saying most of the time.
Most of the time. Funny is that you sat there and compared. First, you're like, "Well, Mayweather, this happened to Mayweather," and then Usyk against Joshua, and he said, and then when fucking Bucho says Wilder, you said, "Well, he ain't Wilder." Right after you sit there and fucking compare.
He doesn't have that kind of power.
But Haney's not Usyk or Mayweather.
No, he's not.
So
but he's
I'm just saying what you're saying. You slammed Bucho for saying Wilder when you're sitting there riling off fighter after fighter.
Can I tell you why I said that? I'm giving you an examples of the puncher versus the boxer, and usually the boxer in those situations came out on top.
What about Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz?
That's a good point.
Luis Ortiz is not some master boxer. And by the way, he was actually winning that fight until, again, Wilder knocked him out.
Red Reed, is Teofimo Lopez a puncher? What is he?
He's a kind of a boxer puncher.
Right. So it's not only who's a boxer, who's a puncher? You know what I mean? You can be in between as well.
Well,
yeah, you're like Gonzalo said, you're in absolutes here. You're a boxer, you're a puncher.
Let me say something.
The fuck
people
Hey, what the fuck?
You know what? The only one that can't be really in between, Bucho. You know, the only one that can be in between, a guy that can't crack at all. He has no opportunity, like really. There's rare exceptions, where you can muster the power like Caleb Plant showed when he planted his feet.
Yeah.
But most of the time, your record speaks for itself. If you're not getting the knockouts, don't think that all of a sudden in your next fight you're gonna get it like 90% of the time. I would say.
Wait. Let me say something. Wait. Let me say something. You talking about McDonough? Didn't you say McDonough? But look, what nobody said is Teo's just as athletic, if not more athletic, than Devin Haney. So he's not necessarily a plotter or a power puncher. He's just as athletic as Devin Haney, and he can close the gap way better than the Kambosos can. So you're not taking Teo's athletic ability. He can get in and out.
He is athletic.
Shots. But that's what I'm saying. You're taking it as you're looking at you're saying power punchers like they're plotters. Like most typical power punchers who are plotters like a Castillo or McDonough. Teo can do it all. He's athletic enough to do it all. He's not just a power puncher or a boxer. He has both elements. Which Haney
and those guys that you mentioned, Castillo, Maidana, and even like Orlando Solito would murder Devin Haney, man. They would murder.
I don't know about that.
Well,
in the chat, there's a super chat here from Plutonium Loach. He says that chipmunk nutcracker ain't beating Lomachenko. I think he's referring to Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, okay.
That's another thing that they don't give. I look forward to. Let me ask you this: who would you say is more athletic, Devin Haney or Lomachenko? Pure athleticism.
I would say Devin, but I would say Lomachenko is more skilled.
Lomachenko is a much better athlete.
I don't know about that. How do you measure athleticism?
What one point that originally made that people failed to realize when has balance.
All right, hold on, Gonzalo. You can't just all jump in and start like talking at the same time.
Everything about power punches with you.
Athleticism has to do with timing and coordination. Hey man, let me talk. You just listen. Athleticism has to deal with timing and footwork, hand-eye coordination. So that's what makes a great baseball hitter, a great wide receiver. Is that a lot of people, especially boxers, you take a Mexican boxer, they're not athletic. They're just you can fight, but
there you go talking in absolutes again. There you go talking in absolutes.
Got him training.
A Mexican boxer cannot be athletic. Wow, that's fucking
incredible.
I'm
saying that's not real.
You already know that.
Gonzalo, let them answer.
Listen to what I said. I said typically the knock on a Mexican fighter or fighters like this is they're slow-footed. As somebody just mentioned that Canelo has the man time.
Okay, hold on, guys. If you guys, come on. Boxing with Frank is not even finished. He hasn't even finished his point, and everyone's jumping in.
Okay.
Right. I'm talking about athleticism. Who's the better athlete? We're not talking about just boxing, but just who's the better athlete. Quicker feet, hand-eye coordination, things of that nature. So you put them in through drills, and you'll see. I guarantee you, Loma probably beats all those guys in athletic drills, especially in boxing. Cones, running, 40-yard dash. You can tell me Devin Haney. I don't know about the 40-yard dash.
Lomachenko's dad got him training since he was a kid.
This is a 34-year-old man we're talking about now.
Yeah, Lomachenko's father's the strength and conditioning coach for Ukraine.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
yes, he
does a crazy athletics. He does crazy shit. He does punches that ball that hangs off the top of his forehead. Have you ever tried to hit those fucking things? That shit ain't easy.
Here's the problem with Lomachenko.
Listen. Can you be quiet? Let me finish this.
Yeah, we all seen the videos.
All right, guys, you know what? This ain't working. This Kumite isn't working. We have 14 people in here. all wanting to debate like it's open on Friday. It's not gonna work, man. We need 2 versus 2 max. So we have Rare Breed on one end, Gonzalo on the other, and then who else wants to jump in on this debate? I see a lot of people that want to talk. So.
What is the debate? What is the debate?
Oh, Gonzalo, we're trying to find out who wants to debate who, so we're not gonna keep talking about the topic. All right?
Okay.
All right.
I just want to know the topic so I can join in or not, because I don't want to talk about no bullshit.
It was Teofimo versus Andre Devin Haney.
Okay.
And one thing, yeah.
No, Gonzalo. Hold on. You're gonna be in the debate. So we have Gonzalo on the Teofimo Lopez side, and
I'll go with Tio.
Who's that? Who said that?
Me, Frank.
Frank with Tio, and then we have Rare Breed again with Haney.
Yo, throw me in against Canelo. I'll hate in that motherfucker all day.
Yeah, but it's Teo versus Haney. Who wants to be on the Haney side? We need one more person. Haney versus Teofimo Lopez.
I mean, it's not even a realistic fight at this point. I don't know why that's the debate. Bucho, why is that debate? That's not even a realistic fight right now, so it's kind of pointless.
All right, so that's not okay. So then, what the fuck are we talking about here? We're talking nonstop.
Take me. I gotta do something.
I said let's go with the round table. Who will come out on top between Loma, Haney, Tank, and Ryan? Because the next fight is Gervonta and
Loma,
Ryan.
Haney, Haney, Shakur, and Tank. Right?
Shakira versus Tank.
Oh man.
All right. Who's the best one of those?
I'm gonna say Ryan's gonna come out on top. I know I'll get crucified, but Ryan will come out on top of all of them.
You make me laugh.
That's hilarious. Ryan is hilarious. A 140 pounder. He ain't fighting those guys.
Can you imagine Ryan's
gonna fight next? January 7th. They're talking about.
Yeah, I know they're gonna fight in January. I've been hearing about that for a little while now, but he's number one in the WBA as well. I just seen that today. But
bet the house on Tank.
I mean, bro, he's not gonna get in there with those other guys, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna get in there with the Loma Shakurs. They're not gonna cost for the top rank. And then Tank has a contract exclusive to fucking Showtime.
Shakur would embarrass Ryan Garcia.
Can't leave.
Embarrass him.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he's fighting against anybody good though.
The skills gap is out of this world. It's not even close.
Yeah, and Ryan has that chin up. Yeah, that's not good for Ryan, man.
It's got everything to do with it. Boxing is about skills.
Yeah, but you guys are saying Ryan is not down to fight people, but as if Shakur and fucking Haney are down to fight Tank and Ryan and the other good fighters.
Shakur is a two-weight division champion. What is Ryan?
And then the other is a two-way world champion.
Ryan,
bro, two-weight division champ. Ryan Garcia is a Twitter champ.
Does Ryan even have
both of them? They haven't done it. Shakur and Haney haven't fought each other.
So, yeah, but they just can't.
Tank and Ryan they're not fighting for legacy, bro. They don't want those fights, bro. Them
exactly.
Two, they can get in the
Tank
ring.
and Ryan are like pay-per-view. Not pay-per-view fighters.
They can get in the ring and mix it up. Those two can mix it up, but they're not gonna fight the other guys, bro. I'm telling you.
Look, if Ryan and Tank fight and whoever wins
so
that,
you guys think Shakur and Haney are fighting each other when all they do is
all right, guys. Here we go. Okay, so Ryan versus Tank Davis. There's rumors that fights might take place. Whatever, I don't know. So Ryan versus. Okay, it's gonna happen. So 2 versus 2. Who's on the Ryan side?
I got the Ryan side.
Frank.
I'll take the black guy.
Popa's taking Tank. Okay.
I'm taking the black guy too.
Or obviously Rare Breed, and then one more for Ryan.
Yeah.
I'll jump on Ryan and what he wants
to. All right, so everybody mute. Or I'll mute you. All right, everybody please mute. So we're gonna be 2 versus 2 here. Let me just set the timer, and then how much time? 5 minutes? 6 minutes? Fuck it. Go.
3 minutes. 3-minute rounds. That's just how we do it.
All right, 3-minute rounds. No, all right. Go.
Look. Okay, I'll start off. Literally,
Tank Davis,
Ryan
right?
Garcia. Yeah, I'm Tank Davis. Look, Ryan Garcia has cement feet. I thought Canelo had bad feet, but Ryan Garcia is 10 times worse. The only advantages he has over Tank, and I think that's why he wants to fight. He's got a huge reach advantage. He's got the height advantage, and he might even hit harder than Tank. I'm not 100% sure. But when it comes to just like boxing skills, Tank is on a different level. Ryan leaves his chin up in the air. That's why he almost got knocked out by a non-puncher and the British guy, whatever his name was. Yeah, Tank is on a different level. I think he's going.
That was his name.
Yeah, Luke Campbell. He got hurt by Luke Campbell. What the fuck? Come on now.
Do you know if they have any common opponents? Has Ryan and Tank do they have a common opponent? I'm not.
I think they have one.
Do they
common opponent?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Hold on.
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking. Does anybody know if they have a common? Usually, when they lead up to these fights,
they do. They fought Fonseca. Ryan knocked him out in the first round. Right. Tank actually struggled with Fonseca.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm switching to Ryan.
Yeah, he knocked that dude in one round.
Look, I get what you're saying about the British guy that knocked him down, but Ryan already fixed that mistake because Tago tried to do the same, and Fortuna tried to do the same, tried him with the same punch, and
none of those guys are Tank.
Ryan blocked it, bro.
That's cool. None of those guys are Tank.
Okay, but what does Tank do well? Besides,
what does he do well?
Behind the punch power.
He's a great body puncher. He's got good head movement. He's got good feet. He knows how to fight on the back foot if he needs to.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know.
Now, what are some of Tank's weaknesses? I would say Tank has a low punch output. He's got little short, stubby arms, and he's little. So,
what's your scouting report for Tank Davis? What's your scouting report? Strengths and weaknesses.
I just named him. So he's got good boxing skills.
He's body puncher.
Yeah, he's a good body puncher. He's got good boxing skills, even though he doesn't show it that much.
So he was good against boxing power pressure like Cruz. You called that good boxing? Cruz was able to.
Yeah, that was. He broke. He hurt his hand and he fought on the back foot. He showed he could fight on the back foot.
Right?
Yeah, but you can't be making excuses like that on a debate against me, bro.
It's a broken hand
right now. Well, Isaac Cruz and Ryan Garcia are different fighters. Isaac Cruz.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because if fucking Tank hurts his hand during the fight, that's his fucking fault for not punching correctly. That's his fucking fault for.
Or maybe it's Isaac Cruz fucking Lego ass head.
So Tank guys, wait. Let me say something. So who has the size advantage in the fight?
Ryan Garcia.
The athlete. Who's the better athlete?
But no, look. If Ryan had good, let me say this.
Reach? Who's going to be bigger on fight night?
Let me answer that for you.
Yeah.
No, I will. If Ryan had a good jab and good skills, with the size advantage that he already has, he would dominate Tank. But he doesn't. Then that's why Tank is going to win.
Wait. Okay, I'm glad you said this. Wait. Let me counter him, and then I'll let you go.
Okay, go ahead.
So you just said that Ryan. You said he, if he was able to do that, he had good. He has the reach, and if he had, so why was Rolly able to dominate him like that? With the
dominate,
he's not a good boxer.
Rolly dominated that fight, really.
He won probably the first 6 rounds with just
he
a jab.
Was
oh my god, such a fight!
I beg to differ.
Watch the fight again. Well, what did Tank do that won him the rounds? They won him the fight.
I can't believe this shit. I can't wait for this.
No, we're talking about a game plan and executing. And you already said he had the
Ryan
size and
don't
reach
have no damn
advantage.
game plan. Ryan is.
Well, he couldn't implement what Romero did.
What does Ryan do better than Tank? Honestly, what does he do better than Tank?
He has more speed. He has more power. He has a better
power, more speed, more athleticism.
I think the speed and the power is damn near even. If we're being honest, it's damn near even. It's damn near even. I think the only difference in between them is the height and the reach advantage. But that's the only difference, to be honest. Besides
so
that,
you're telling me you
Tank
think
does
Tank
everything
Davis can
better.
outbox
I think
okay, who's the more skilled fighter then?
I think he's a much more. I think he's a much better boxer. Yes.
Hey,
so
Ryan Garcia people.
Don't let me get my point across. Look.
Okay, go ahead.
You guys know when fucking Tank is fighting a guy with power, he's always on the back foot, right? It happened with Pitbull Cruz. He was on the back foot. You could even say he was on the back foot with Rolly. And the problem that I have with that is that Tank is the shorter fighter, bro. And if he wants to fight outside, it's gonna be really hard against a bigger fighter like Ryan. And when he comes in, he might run into a fucking lead hook from Ryan. And those fucking lead hooks from Ryan are quick, bro. Those fucking lead hooks are quick, bro. And they're strong.
Ryan, look, Ryan couldn't even cut off the ring against Tago. How's he gonna cut off the ring on Tank?
Against a much more seasoned fighter
Yeah, like
for
Tagore was
that better
trash. Let's be
footwork,
honest, and Ryan can come
a
out the ring against
faster
him.
fighter,
It's not.
Tagoga is
more
ass kick,
athletic
bro.
fighter,
Like
etc.
I don't get what you're talking. Because Tagoga is fucking ass kick, bro. And the
He's
only reason he
trash.
didn't get
I
KO'd is
wouldn't
because
say
he
ass
fucking
kick.
ran.
He
See,
definitely survived. He pulled
But look at a similar
Granados
size
against
opponent.
Conor Ben.
Go ahead.
see
But
when we
look at
watch
a
the fight
similar.
against fucking what you call it? See when you watch the fight with Tank Davis and Rolly, he didn't particularly dominate that fight. He was getting beat in several rounds. So I
mean,
don't.
that's how Tank always fights.
Oh, is this guy's in the debate? Come on, who is 2 versus 2 here? Come on.
Yeah, I wanted to say something.
and
These guys keep talking back and forth. Nobody's just letting somebody speak. I was going to say a similar style and size was Mario Barrios, and Mario Barrios had a lot of success against Tank Davis.
And he got like 3 times.
Okay, but
this is gonna sound crazy to y'all, but I'm gonna say it. Mario Barrios actually has more
success than I don't know what success.
Am I going to talk or are you going to talk over me? How's this going to work?
Go. Finish your point.
So I'm just saying a style, a similar size opponent, but we're talking about a much faster power puncher and Ryan Garcia than Mario Barrios was. So if Tank is eating shots, just watch the fight. All you have to guys, all you have to do is watch these fights. Watch Tank Davis and Rolly Romero again, and tell me where Tank was dominating, where he was winning until that lucky punch, until Rolly Romero made a mistake. I want you to go YouTube it right now and tell me where Tank was winning or dominating.
They talk about Tank's power.
That doesn't matter to me. As long as you win the fights, that's the only thing that matters to me. It's to Deontay Wilder. He doesn't really dominate until you win.
Let me finish, and then we're not even talking about outside the ring. He has a lot of business going outside. He's going to be distracted. He's not going to be focused on this fight. It's all the cards are in Ryan's favor.
All right. The other side.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. That Tank as a pending case with a hit and run, and I'm thinking
that's got nothing to do with the fight.
He's not there mentally. No, it does, bro. Because he's not gonna be there mentally, bro. He's not gonna be there mentally.
He's still gonna knock Ryan Garcia out.
Exactly.
This is not Lomachenko. This is not Devin Haney. No. Let me finish. Let me finish because you talk.
You don't even let me finish, bro. I was gonna finish
your point.
I was gonna bring up the fucking Tank went into like the 11 or 12 rounds with Gamboa, and Gamboa, that was a one-legged Gamboa, bro. And Gamboa's a shitty person. Even Pitbull Cruz KO'd Gamboa in like the 3rd round.
All right, Red. All right. We get it.
Stepping stone, you know.
We got it. We get the point. We get the point.
So
look,
Red.
How does he have?
Rabbit.
He definitely cherry picks, and low key to me, this is another cherry pick because this is why he wants this fight so bad. Because Ryan Garcia is a limited fighter. This is not Lomachenko. This is not Shakur or Devin Haney. Those guys are on a different level. Ryan Garcia has a lot of weaknesses. Tank sees that shit. It looks good on paper because Ryan has the flashy knockout power and he's fast, but he doesn't have the skills. He's going to get knocked out. And then you're going to come on here making excuses like you always do. And that's that.
You're making excuses, bro. That's the thing. But anyways, I don't want to discuss that. That's not going to happen, bro. Like,
yeah, it will, and then you go make excuses.
All right, so we're ending the debate.
I told you, Ryan is gonna finish Tank with a lead hook.
All right.
Yeah,
that's it. Nobody talks.
That was great.
It's over. Debate is over. Who is winning the Ryan versus Tank fight? Pro Tank team 44%, pro Ryan team 56%. 56% think Ryan's gonna win. It's close though. Closer than the other debates we had. So that's it. Good debate, guys. That was pretty good.
It's a 50 match, honestly. Like, shit.
It's a good fight. It is a good fight. I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
The fucking Tank got knocked out by. He was knocked down by fucking Leo Santa Cruz. They're both chinny as fuck.
Hey guys, can I just read a super chat quickly here? Amok PvP. He says Snorkur the Maikara leaf blower sleeping soon. So he's sleeping soon here, Snorkur. All right. Or sleeping soon.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways. Thank you for that super chat, Amok. And yep, anybody can jump in now. We can find another topic.
And do you guys think Tank is getting better, or do you guys think he's regressing?
Regressing.
Yes.
Regressing, basically.
Regressing.
Yeah.
Even if he is
honestly,
regressing, he's still better than Ryan.
He reminds me of Adrian Broner.
I don't know. Brian's getting the
Oh, no, Adrian Broner.
Maybe that's harsh. Maybe that's harsh.
He's a way better fighter than AB.
Yes.
Even though AB
ahead.
got more accomplishments.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, man, we shouldn't even fucking give that dude any play. You know what I mean? He don't give a fuck about us. He don't give a fuck about the sport. The people who handle him don't give a fuck. I mean, what does Ellaby call us? People on YouTube and Twitter. We're not trying to target the hardcore fans. And then the other day he said some tweet along. We're not trying to target. We got our own fans. So yeah, let him do his thing. He's never going to come over and never fight anybody of note. He's closer to 30 now than he is 20.
Jimmy,
not going to argue with that, Jimmy.
Let me just ask Jimmy something. So, I understand, and I think I feel the same way usually. But don't you think if Ryan and Tank fight, it's them cashing out on him because of what's going on in his life?
I don't know. I see. No. I'm so fucking honestly. I just don't even believe they're gonna make that fight. I just can't see it because listen, you got to ask yourself: are they really gonna let fucking Garcia, his biggest moneymaker right now, Canelo? I mean, Oscar, are gonna let him go over to the PBC? That's not going to happen. And there's not a snowball's chance in hell Tank's fighting on DAZN. So unless they can cross that divide, I don't see how the fights happen. Right now, I think they're both avoiding anybody and using each other's names not to catch shit for it. Right? Let's be honest. I think fucking Garcia should be fucking calling out dudes who, guys from with Bob. That fights can be made. Guys who are with fucking Matchroom, those fights can be made. He's with Matchroom. Like, these fantasy fights against a dude who's proven that he will not fight anybody. His own management has said we're not keeping everything in-house. And yes, it could be big money. It could be the biggest money maker, but it's a big gamble because what if that fight? Because he does have enough power to catch Tank, and if he was to hurt him, and if he the thing is, it would just be, would he be able who catches who first? Because it would just be whether he's willing to bet it all. I'm curious. If he does it, I'd be shocked.
Yeah. No, they're trying to cash out Ryan Garcia because it's better to lose to a Tank than to some other mid-level guy, and that's what they're doing.
Golden Boy is not in trouble financially, bro. DAZN is doing good in terms of finances. So why would they try to cash out fucking?
It's got nothing to do with that.
It's the same thing. To do with that, you fucking.
Wait, so is trying to make money, bro. So maybe they will cash out Ryan, fucking Tank against Ryan.
No, they don't actually think Tank is going to lose to Ryan. That's a difference.
How do you know what the fuck they're thinking? Are you a mind reader?
Because why would they?
Rare Breed, are you convinced that Tank Davis beats Ryan Garcia? Or do you think it's close?
100%.
100%.
Everybody else is 50-50.
Rare Breed, do you want to go on the BDA records again? Because I have another statement of yours. You said Benavidez
yes, please put me on the BDA record, whatever the hell that is.
Okay, because you said Benavidez will whoop Canelo on October the 7th, 2022. So
yes, I stand on that shit.
Hey, BDA, put me on the record as I think Ryan's gonna fucking beat Tank.
Put money on it, whatever your name is.
The thing is, you want to pay, bro. I heard you owe $200 to somebody out there. That's what I heard. So
if the year is over and Spence and Crawford didn't make the fight, I'll pay him.
Oh, it's a sad situation when people think that as soon as you lose one time, it's cashing out. For either guy, man, it's you lose. You can move on to.
I didn't bring that shit up.
Fighting for money.
Yeah, but the thing, Gonzalo, in this case, right, is that the promotion companies have shown that they don't want to match either guy with anyone competitive. Like, I think Devin Haney came into the ring with Ryan Garcia, like maybe once or twice. I mean, they both kind of teased that fight, and then every time he had an opportunity to fight Devin, even though he was on DAZN, Ryan swerved him. And we all know that Tank is not allowed to fight outside of the stable. So I guess you just have to assume that if they're going to fight each other, it's because the promotional agencies have nothing left to give, and they don't believe in their guy, and they just want the biggest money fight.
Who doesn't believe in their guy?
I don't see that fight happening.
Wait, who doesn't believe in their guy?
Both of them. Is that fight even happening, bro? That's what I'm questioning too.
I doubt it, bro. I honestly doubt it.
Hey,
somebody, if there's anybody
up in January.
Yeah, right. Well, I think Baltimore, they got a pretty lax DA. I think they're going to push for some fucking big fine, maybe some community time. I'd be shocked if they actually, if they did, maybe like some 45-day stint. I just can't see them putting him in actual prison for that. But, I'm not going to bet my house on it. But on top of that, I just, I think if there's anybody, though, it's Tank. I still think Tank has an issue deep inside. He still lets out little things. I know he's back with them, and I think that was and I knew it was a ploy, the whole, am I leaving Mayweather? They had to do something to bring attention to that shitty pay-per-view against Rolly. But I think deep down inside, I think it bothers Tank. I truly don't. This kid isn't a punk. He's a pussy. He ain't afraid of anybody. I think he's in a bad situation where they got one fighter, and that's him. They don't have anybody else. And I think if he was with fucking Top Rank or somebody else, I think he would be fighting other people. I think he just signed himself into an ugly situation he can't get out of.
Yeah, Jimmy, how do you think they keep getting these guys to come back, though? Because
they have
Benavidez resigned.
It's in their contract. If they make X amount of dollars, like Thurman let it slip once. If he hit a $2 million mark within one calendar year, he's automatically re-signed for 2 years with the PBC. He has all kinds of like it's scale. If they won't promise him amount of fights, but they'll promise him like scale. If you earn such a much dollar, then you owe us another 2 years. Check out this kid Austin. They just try to sign him out the gate for 11 years. The father went on and said how that they wanted no autonomy. They would have given us no autonomy over our own name. We couldn't even license our own name to anything without written permission of Al Heyman, because he would own my son's likeness for 11 years. And he also keeps all the fucking money and defers their payments.
Yeah, exactly. So how does that work in that case, though? Because he's not paying them directly. It's all annuities, from what I understand. So if it's stipulated in a contract that they have to reach a certain earnings, right, for that calendar year, then how is it that cost can be triggered if he's never paying the house?
It would be grossed out. Like it would be like, did you gross $2 million? But when he defers it, it's for tax reasons. Because if you pay all of it one time, they're going to get Hammond and capital gains. So he breaks it up by probably a third.
Yeah.
Jimmy, they also do that with the titles. Like if a fighter has a title, they're not gonna let him go, and that's what happened to Mickey Garcia. That's why Top Rank wouldn't let him go.
Titles, they control still the sport. That's what everybody fights for titles. So especially PBC, they don't got many left. I'm trying to hold on to them all.
Hey guys, in the chat, Larry Liston, he just reminded me that Rare Breed, he said he also said Bud versus Spence would take place this year.
Well, he was fucking wrong.
Rare Breed, anything to say? Because you were convinced, you were ready to bet money on it.
Yeah, I did say that.
What's going on with that fight? Like, seriously, who's responsible? I don't even understand. By the way, hold on. Kenshiro, thank you for your contribution. He says, put me on record. Lomachenko will beat Devin Haney and Shakur. All right, but listen, I can put everybody on the record. It's gonna just be too many people. I only add people who like constantly bring up something that's completely like maybe not ridiculous, but it's not crazy. That's not the rule. I don't know when like Rare Breed, he repeats stuff like Canelo, Benavidez is gonna whoop Canelo. Like I don't know, man. That's like pretty out there, And you keep repeating.
Take the notes and take them to the BDA headquarters. Get them to recognize so you can archive them.
Yeah, you're right.
Bucho, you don't need to bother because you don't need to bother with taking that one down because Canelo will never fight Benavidez.
No,
I don't know about that.
Canelo because he has a better record than Andre Ward.
That's okay. We're talking about Benavidez here. Don't change the subject.
You know what? You're right. For the BDA records, I'm going crazy here. Adding like Ryan Garcia versus Tank. It might be a close fight. Fuck.
It's a 50-50 fight.
It's not a 50-50 fight.
It's not a 50. Who's saying
it's catch Ryan?
According to the odds, it's not a 50-50 fight either.
Really? What
I think it's like I want to say it's like minus 180 Tank plus 160 Ryan. I'm not too sure exactly, but I think that's a ballpark number.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more favorite for Ryan.
Hey,
it's like 60-40 almost on the odds.
Busho, you didn't hear Adrian Bronner talking about how they don't have a guaranteed purse for Errol Spence because Showtime is having financial problems right now?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
They're Steven Espinosa's boss just up and quit 2 weeks ago. The head of program at Showtime, a week after it was announced that the parent company, Paramount, is seriously considering folding Showtime into their app service, and they're going to cut fucking all sporting events because they're making no money. So there's out of nowhere, it was. He just got up and quit his job. He was only hired 2 years ago, and it made a big wave. And they were talking about it in all the people who cover that business, Wall Street and shit. So things aren't looking good for Showtime. They have no budget, and every slot they have is sealed right now. And because they've lost so much money on boxing, like the PBC is cost them money, and I think honestly that he's scared shitless to put any money into it. Like I don't think Espinosa wants to do anything to get gassed.
So what's happening with? Okay, so what do you mean? Okay, so because I suck at this stuff. So basically, what you're saying is that they don't have money for upcoming events, basically.
Yeah, BBC would have to cover it all, and then it's also a slot. What time slot what are they gonna bump to put that in?
Right. So
it'd be money up front too. So like Errol wants money up front. Bud has said, just give it to me off the back end of the pay-per-views.
Right.
But I want to see the books. And Showtime, and they're saying no. They won't. I mean, PBC saying no. So,
hey, Jimmy, do you remember a couple years back when that show Billions had that Triple G reference? Like the one was like, you don't show them you don't show them how to beat someone up. You hire Triple G to fuck them up. I bet like the rest of the Showtime execs like hate the sporting part. They think they're a bunch of weasels. I bet like there's like an inter-Showtime, war.
But yeah, I'm not surprised that Showtime's going under their fold. A lot of TV, like Cartoon Network and other things, are like going under, consolidating to save money.
Yeah,
it's a thing that's been going around, like in Warner Bros. And everything else. So like that's what the thing that Jimmy said is like isn't like not surprising that like Showtime is gonna go in that.
And they invested a lot of money into Bellator too. That took up a lot of. Remember the PBC used to get a fall schedule. This year they didn't get one because they sunk their money into Bellator.
I don't know who watches Bellator though.
Bellator's dead.
They have $1 million bonus for like that fucking tournament or whatever. I'm not like a huge MMA guy.
They still doing Jake. They're still doing the Jake Paul pay-per-view.
So what's
they get?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's that, Pucho?
Don't finish.
No, I was going to say, well, they don't have to. They get percentage of Jake Paul. They get 40%, probably 50% of whatever streaming they pay-per-view they do through Showtime, and they're trying to probably count on his YouTube followers. But I guess they didn't show out that good from his last fight, so we'll see.
What's it going to take for Crawford and Spence to fight then?
For Showtime, for them to open up their books. Crawford's not going to move off that, and I don't think because the PBC, that's non-transparency. That's their hallmark. They don't open their books to show no one. That's why they leak pay-per-view numbers through reporters, because they won't even co-sign them, because then they'd be held responsible for them legally.
Hey, so these reporters, what are the sources that these reporters use? They just, what do they say? According to who? Or according to what? What's the wording they use?
Well, they just say sources, like they say at the beginning too. They'll say sources, and then they'll say what they're told. But the sources is probably, I would say, it's either Tim Smith, who's the VP of Communications for Heyman Boxing LLC, and then that girl. Well, same thing, PBC. It's under the same umbrella. And that girl, Kelly Swanson, who's the public relations manager for Premier Boxing Champion. Those are the two people who would leak the information.
Oh my!
Ucho, I got a question for Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy, so how come they can make a real fight? How come they can make a fight really easy? Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius, and they could make out with a few $1 million. I don't know how much Deontay Wilder made, but the pay-per-view was $75. And it is so difficult to make a pay-per-view when they're already charging for like these lesser fights to make it for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to see if that fight was profitable. It's coming down to this. Right now, we're at the position where nobody's paying for these. So Al Haymon is expecting fans to finance the fights. Basically, he's offering guys these contracts to whatever, to whatever Wilder was going to make. But it's all off the back end. These guys aren't getting, he's not giving them a guaranteed $4 million. It would probably be $4 million if the pay-per-view sells X amount. minus Showtime's cut. But here's the thing. This is important. By tomorrow morning, Dan Raphael, by his own sources, should have the Wilder Helenius numbers plus a story written, because within 72 hours he tweeted out, fucking, remember, GGG Canelo fucker was a major disappointment, only did 575,000 buys, and then fucking he got his dick kicked in and kind of had to walk it back. But he had those sources within 72 hours. So let's see if he's still Johnny on the spot tomorrow with those Helenius numbers. By the way, weird, I can't find anywhere that they announced attendance for that fight. I can't find it anywhere. No, Keith Idlek, there's 3 guys who normally always tweet out announced attendance. I haven't seen it, and I'm curious to see what he did there, because that'll tell you a lot about how many pay-per-views it sold.
Where's Davis pay-per-view numbers? How about those pay-per-view numbers? Where the hell is fucking Davis Cruz?
Wait, Jamie, I need to ask you a question. Why do we care so much about the numbers? Because to me, Wilder being in the heavyweight division,
that sets everything. Pay-per-view numbers sets what you're going to get paid. It sets when you go to sitting at the bargaining table. When you're sitting down across somebody, my guy deserves this. Why? Because this is what he sells. This is what your guy sells. This is the ticket sales my guy brings in. This ticket sales your guy brings. So it's huge. It even goes as far as what they go in the Hall of Fame, because popularity is part of the reason I brought that up.
Yeah, the reason I brought that up is because I don't really care about that type of stuff. Because these guys, they don't put money in my pocket.
You don't.
I just want to see. I feel like Wilder being in the heavyweight division, there's more drama. Because we all know he could end a fight in any moment, so it makes for good fights. Him not being in the heavyweight division makes the heavyweight division less interesting.
So you feel that? Do you feel that? Do you feel that?
The only reason I look at the numbers,
you know what I mean, Bucho? Stop.
Yeah, but come on, we're talking about numbers. This is important, right? Because
that's how I'm able to predict what fights are actually happening and which ones are not. Because if it doesn't make sense with the money, the fight is not going to happen.
Exactly.
What's amazing about Rare Breed's statement there, right, is every time we talk about Mayweather, what's his only argument? He sold more pay-per-views.
I mean, his name is
Money.
More pay-per-views. His name is Money. Right. His name is fucking Money.
Yeah, so. I know. I'm saying it's ironic that Rare Breed is saying that. That's the only thing he ever mentioned.
That's also funny because they say that he sold those pay-per-views only because of who he was fighting.
Yeah, see, now you're getting into the discussion. I'm saying, this is something you obviously care about, right?
We can debate
it's really strange. But suddenly when we're talking about Wilder, whose pay-per-view numbers have been atrocious, and we know this because he couldn't even sell out his own stadium in Alabama. All right, I mean, he couldn't even sell out arena back home.
He missed it by almost half. It was actually pretty bad.
Rare Breed only likes to talk about the numbers when his
favors. Exactly.
Yeah, and if you want to know if Mayweather's numbers are conducive on who he was fighting, look at who he fought before his big pay-per-views numbers and who after when they didn't. Like Berto was 400,000. That was after selling 4.4 million. I mean 4.3 million. Mm-hmm. So clearly, it's just not on his name. It was him in Pacquiao what made that fucking numbers, combined. Because when it was up to Mayweather by himself, and if he was that popular, like people, I don't want to get into that, but the same face of boxing. Then why does he have to go to other people's countries and fight on TV and they're dependent upon them?
Not only that, Jimmy. I almost mentioned the Berto fight. Like that was supposedly his last professional boxing fight. That's a reason for people to show up. It's the last time you might see Floyd fight the legend. It's his last fight. Go. Watch that. Nobody cared.
Right. Yeah, I bet a lot of percentage of that 400,000 it was just inertia for like bars and public places that got discounts.
That 400,000 would be considered amazing for some of these guys today.
Yeah, but it was his last fight. No, but Rare Breed, you don't understand what I'm saying here. It's Floyd Mayweather, not these other guys you're talking about. We're talking about his last professional boxing fight.
Uh-huh.
And the numbers
MMA guy
are not even that great.
By comparison, Canelo did more than that against a no-name, supposedly, in Bivol.
I mean, Canelo Triple G did better than Floyd's last professional fight.
Yeah, it's not that hard to admit he didn't do it on his own.
Go down that rabbit hole, dog. You're not going to win that battle.
Yo, win what battle? If you compare fucking Canelo's numbers to Floyd's numbers outside of De La Hoya, outside De La Hoya and Pacquiao, it seems like Canelo does consistently more against lesser names. Well, I mean, no. Like, yeah, he does.
Let me see. I'll have to pull up Floyd's numbers again.
He's like $750,000 he's made on I think he's like 800.
The majority of
against
people
Cotto was a name.
to watch Floyd lose. That's the only reason he had numbers. Just because.
Yeah, no, Floyd did. There's no doubt.
It's not like the numbers though. That doesn't discount the numbers anyway.
Anyway, I mean, he did slightly better, but like it's not like he did like amazingly well.
It's like
no, listen.
He was inflating the Wilder's number, saying like, "Oh, he's black. We should support him. We should do all this shit."
No. If you look at numbers, I'll tell you what.
Floyd wasn't Mike Tyson.
People are like,
"Oh, fuck,
let's watch it 5 times so that we can break the record." Like, no, just watch it once. That's it.
And then again, it's just because Rare Breed didn't like the numbers when they were being told about Wilder. Here's another Wilder. His only pay-per-view not involving Fury was that one with Ortiz too. That lost $15.5 million.
That's
harsh.
That's harsh. But Jimmy, you gotta look at it this way. If Tyson Fury,
it's a good tax deduction.
If Tyson Fury was an American, he probably wouldn't do big numbers either. Like boxing is not a big sport here in America.
That's a
isn't Floyd Mayweather an American? Isn't Floyd Mayweather an American? Oh, anyway, we started a discussion, right? I just pointed out the hypocrisy, right? Suddenly you're saying like those numbers don't matter when it comes to Wilder because his numbers suck. And you know it, but every time anyone talks about Mayweather, rather than discuss the actual topic at hand, you discuss the numbers he sold as if they have. You just throw out these non sequiturs. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Floyd took care of business in the ring.
There you go. There you go.
He had numbers.
Let him talk.
He had both. Floyd had both, though.
Yeah, but your argument is that Floyd could fight anybody and he's gonna sell.
He fought Robert Guerrero and sold $1 million.
All right, hold on. Somebody, Rafael Garza with a super chat. He says, "Ask Rare Breed if Mayweather is a billionaire and Mayweather has Canelo type money. Why doesn't Mayweather finance that Spence Bud pipe dream?
All these dudes and these guys caught."
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, can Floyd?
I don't think he's a billionaire. There's a big rumor that you know when Canelo went into PBC and he made $40 million. There's a lot of people saying that the money came from Floyd's money, and that's the reason
I don't think that's,
Floyd been talking a lot of shit about Canelo because Canelo took his $40 million and then he went back to Eddie Hearn.
No, I think Floyd got angry
What are you going to do when Canelo retires? Are you going to cry at the altar or something?
No, but he's the face of boxing, dude. And you're the one who cries about him nonstop every week.
I was just talking.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, come on. People, they like him, but that's just. I mean, you know what they get insulted about it. And I was gonna say for Floyd, I think the reason why, first off, he didn't put up any money. He wasn't gonna put up his own money and take risk losing that kind of chain. But Floyd did invest a lot of money in New York real estate, a lot.
Oh,
and to his benefit, I heard that he was able to keep most of that. Now, here's the caveat: there could be historic downturn in real estate right now if this fucking recession goes ugly. I think that's suddenly why all of a sudden he's talking about being Republican and voting for Trump and shit, because he knows if it keeps going this way, he's going to lose a lot of money. Because he's got hundreds of millions.
Manhattan.
You would love if he just went broke, wouldn't you?
Didn't you already start Manhattan?
I don't want to know. Who, me?
Yeah, that kind of sounds like it.
Why would I? What didn't I just say? It's a reason why he's fucking angry because he was going to vote Trump because he doesn't want to lose his money. How did I say that? That was
because every time you bring up this topic,
didn't I just no? Because I just said the reason why he wouldn't put up his own money. He invested a lot of his money in New York real estate, and to his credit, he didn't take it out. He was smart to do that. Exactly, I actually credited him, Rare Breed. So if you actually listen to what I'm saying, that's what I said. He put his money into the best thing he could do is real estate as long as it doesn't get fucked up through stupid policy. But he's doing all right in New York real estate. He's actually the second biggest New York real estate investor, black real estate investor in the whole city.
Who's the first?
I don't know. I just know they listed him in a Forbes magazine article at the time. He put in $150 million. $50 million, and then he was getting every month. He was getting big dividends. He said he was getting like $50,000 a month profit check, which is good. So when he saw how good it was. He went and put another 100 million into it. So as far as I knew, he got 150 million. He invested into this. It's a thing that like number one.
It's called One Vanderbilt. It's called One Vanderbilt.
Thank you, my brother. Exactly, One Vanderbilt.
Was that pre-pandemic or post-pandemic?
Pre-pandemic,
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he invested into that group, and they own 9 different buildings. It's like a conglomerate of investors, and he's now one of them. He's not the top investors, like the top 10%, but he's up there. He put in a lot of big money. He was smart to do that, but
Interesting.
So I think he doesn't have that funny money around him. Well, he was smart enough too. He downsized, get his cars. He doesn't own the $3, $4, $5 million cars anymore. Now he has $300,000 cars, $400,000 cars.
How did we get into this topic? How did we get into this topic?
Oh, money and just
money, breed, complaining.
Yeah, somebody just asked. Yeah, too.
I wanted to talk about boxing, and then
all right. Okay,
this has to do with boxing.
Okay. Fuck the money. Fuck Mayweather because his name is Money, right?
And I just want to say I wouldn't wish fucking anybody go penniless. I wouldn't wish that shit. I would not that emotionally invest in anybody's life to hate on a man like that.
All right. Yeah, we're just talking about because we're talking about Spence and Crawford and why that fight is not happening, and then we ended up talking about Showtime and how Showtime might end its boxing operation. But what else can we talk about?
Can I say something?
Yes.
No.
All right. You guys know Ray Jack on Twitter?
Huh?
Let me see his name.
Ray Jackson? Ray Jackson?
Yeah, Ray Jackson.
Oh, yeah, that dude is special.
I don't know who that is.
Here's his tweet. Deontay Wilder didn't play with this food. Caleb Plant didn't play with this food. Canelo Alvarez went 12 rounds with this food and got tired. It's shit like that where it's just like, you really gonna make me defend Canelo? With these
no, they're talking about now he need to fight Plant again. Now we need Canelo Plant too. After beating a 38-year-old Direll. Come on.
But realize this. Those two guys that you just mentioned, Deontay Wilder and Caleb Plant, are coming off of losses. And Caleb Plant came off a loss of Canelo. Yeah, so they didn't play with their food, but the last time they played, they got fucking knocked out.
He's got 615 likes. Like, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, he's a troll. He's a fucking known troll. He's been schooled. Hamanite schooled him so many times. He blocked Hamanites. I mean, Hamanites made him look stupid. Used his own words against him, like crippled him. So he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's one of those fucking toxic tribalistic fanboys who says the most stupid, unfactual things. Oh, and he'll even write sources. My inside source tells me, and he's been completely wrong on almost everything he's ever said. He's an absolute troll.
Yeah, more than likely, a guy like that just pays for his likes.
Him and Artman.
What I want to know is why he keeps showing up in my timeline when I don't follow him.
Because they're part of a group on Twitter. They're all part of.
It shows up. It says men's boxing, and his tweets always seem to show up. I guess.
Yeah, it's just promotional stuff. I think it's because he pays, right? It's probably algorithmic marketing driven. He probably pays for a lot of his followers and to promote his tweets and his likes.
Interactions. Well, what happens in Twitter if you get a lot of interactions? You get a lot of people in your mentions. You get a lot of likes, or even just quotes. So, say if you get ratioed, even that helps. So if you even get like 120 fucking retweets, that's 300 likes, but you have 1,200 comments. That's a ratio, meaning people are drilling you. But that is interaction. So the more interaction, whether it's negative or positive, gets you seen. So that's the reason why they troll. They don't care if they get schooled until they get schooled so bad that like people start like using it against them, and then they'll block them. But that's all he is. He's a troll. He doesn't know anything about boxing. Like, it's embarrassing, actually.
This is a grown-ass man.
But you know what happens if you stoop down to the level. If you pay too much attention and stoop down to the level of some people, they'll drag you down with them. And there's such a thing as regressing as far as like boxing knowledge. Or the things that make sense. It's easy to lose common sense, man. Depends who you hang around. Tell me who your friends are, Jimmy, and I'll tell you who you are. There's a saying, right?
Exactly. Absolutely, brother. And Ottman actually tweeted out Jamel with the E. Jamel Chalo is this era's Marvin Hagler. So when you got people, seriously doing it, So that's the level of
Hey, in my Stephen
commentary.
A. Smith voice, that is blasphemous.
And what about David's next opponent? How come nobody said anything about that? The Boogeyman's next opponent.
Uzcategui.
Oh my gosh! What happened to this Boogeyman, David Benavidez?
Okay. To be fair to David Benavidez, I got to defend him. Who should he fight next? Because Caleb Plant just fought, so he can't fight him. So
Charlo or Boo Boo? Come on, man.
He's got
Charlo or Boo
Boo. Man,
yeah,
come
who
on.
else?
PBC and Matchroom are not going to work together. You can just forget that.
You said who he should, not what's going to happen.
Charlo wants to fight that Polish dude, Selecki.
Well, no, I'm talking about we have to take that Boogeyman, that he's this big bad Boogeyman, off for right now, because until he fighting this guy,
people were saying the same thing about Triple G before he fought anybody. Oh, nobody wants to fight him, and then people who didn't like Triple G would say, "Well, who has he fought?" So it's the same thing.
No, it's not exactly the same thing. Triple G's got a
podcast, bro.
Did he though? Because Andre Dirrell is not a bad. I feel like Andre Dirrell is a pretty decent, or Anthony Dirrell, whatever. Which one?
He just got killed by Plant, bro. Like very badly.
He did. I was surprised Caleb. By the way, Caleb Plant, his coach said that Caleb had more power than he thought when he first started training him. Because I don't know if you guys know, Caleb Plant changed trainers to Breadman.
Yes, Breadman's a good. Yeah, Breadman's actually a good guy. He knows his shit. I said that about Plant before. I said Plant could probably hit a lot harder. He just doesn't put his weight over his front foot. That's not his style. He's up on his toes. So
he's got a lot of speed, to be honest. I don't know if you see that slow motion when he starts to turn the punch over, it speeds up. Like when he pulls out and starts to turn that punch, it speeds up, and it's got crazy speed.
Yeah, he actually hurt Canelo a little bit in that fight.
What's
the body
shot?
On David's defense,
with the body shot.
Yeah, body shot.
I think Uzcategui is better than fucking Lemieux at least. And at least
Uzcategui's a good fighter, man. He's my friend, bro. I know him personally. Yeah.
He was on EPO too.
I'm surprised. I mean, he had some problems in his corner. They were like, man, I didn't like the way he looked, but he's actually a better fighter than he showed on his last few outings.
I think that remains to be seen with Uzcategui because he was on EPO apparently. And
I've never seen David pushed.
And Caleb was fading against him.
No, but we're talking about Caleb's power. When he got down in that crouch, bend the knees and pop back up and put the weight behind that hook, man, he sat down on his punch. It goes to show when you decide, to put the instead of like bouncing off the tip of your toes always and keeping that on the move, people can actually punch, I think. But boxers aren't willing. They're not willing to step like that most of the time.
Yeah, definitely, Gonzalo. That's the most shocking thing is that he decided to throw that punch because he decided to throw a left hook, crouch, stay there, and then pull back and throw his left hook. So he had all that confidence in throwing that shot. I mean, honestly, any man above 160, if he hits you flush like that, he's probably going to get at least like badly rocked, if not knocked out.
And they both had their hands down too, their opposing hand.
Yeah.
He just had Plant, laid him. It was a nice shot though. He did fucking catch him right on the button.
Hey, so that tells me something because Jermell Charlo, before he changed trainers to Derek James, he was more known as a boxer, and his brother was the big puncher. But ever since he went to James, he's knocking everybody out. So is Jimmy changing trainers? So does that mean changing trainers can like unlock some kind of hidden power you don't have? What do you think?
Well, just changing your form. Yeah, if you just look what Sugar Hill did with Fury, got him to put his weight over his front foot more. Get off your toes. You're fighting like you're a fucking 5'6", 130-pound fucking junior lightweight. Put your weight down over your feet. Use your 6'9" frame. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he took unlike that knucklehead who had him fighting, trying to stay at distance. The worst thing to do against Fury, that's his wheelhouse. I mean, Wilder is distance. When he snaps that punch out, he's got a cannon. Yeah, Ben Davis. He's motivation speaker. That's all he is.
Yeah, all you have to look at is
that's what I'm saying. Like you say, skills pay the bills. I get it, but sometimes you could change that, and it pays quicker dividends if you change up your.
Well, look at what Well, look at what Robert tried to do with Joshua. A big guy like Joshua, you should be knocking people out, and he wants to counterpunch. You know, you could see in the Usyk fight, he tried to get him to go to the body, and he did, but he started too late.
If Joshua had a high work rate that like basically similar to Usyk, he would have won that fight. But that's the reason why he fights that way, because he has a low
what
tank.
I'm saying is, you could see Robert Garcia was trying to work with him. He just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, that was terrible.
The game plan was working. Let's be honest. The game plan was working against Usyk, but he got tired.
I believe Joshua has too much muscle to be a volume puncher. So it's very hard for him to adapt a style where he's gonna throw a lot of body shots and pressure.
Is Robert still training with him or no?
No. Yeah, he is.
I think that was a one-off. To be honest, I think he's back in England.
Probably not, because they're living too far apart, man. Well, not you gotta have. Look, where does Robert live, and where does he have his family in his gym?
He better move to America.
Gonzalo,
remember? Sorry, with the fucking Mexicans.
You said they probably were. They're not, because they live very far apart.
Did it.
But even speaking about AJ, what you guys gotta say about AJ versus Otto Wallin? Because I heard they're gonna fight in December.
I seen Areola.
Otto Wallin. Listen, Wallin. He's only lost once. Yeah, he only lost once, and he lost. What was it?
No, he lost to White too, right?
He lost to White as well, once, right? Oh, what? Yeah, did he? I thought he only lost once. I thought he only lost to Fury, but so I guess that's it could be worse. You know what I mean? But to go back to show that I believe Shakur, you'll see harder punching out of Shakur coming in the future. I saw the way he fought against Cassio. He threw punches much harder than any other fight I ever seen him. I seen him go over his friend. So I see him working at trying to put more stink on his punches. Let's see if it carries at 135. That could be a problem, but I definitely see him trying to hit harder. I saw that in the last outing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He only lost once, but Wallin, he went the distance with Dominic Brazil.
Something real quick about the Areola fight. Harn already made it clear that those were just rumors. He never offered Areola anything. That's bullshit. But
hey, if Areola can get that fight, that guy, he's a hero, because that's a huge payday for him.
But
I like that guy.
Harn already debunked that rumor, so why even?
Yeah.
But
I want to not lose the
Dillian. They said Otto Wallin is next.
I want to see, because they fought for it was an elimination fight between Andy Ruiz when he fought. I don't know who he fought. I forget. King Kong Ortiz. Now Wilder beat Helenius. I want to see those two guys fight, man. That's the fight I want to see. And Chris Arreola said that he thinks Deontay Wilder smokes Andy Ruiz. In my opinion, man, I know this for sure. Andy Ruiz is not gonna walk in with his hands down like Helenius did. That's for fucking sure.
Hey, right now, I'm looking at Otto Wallin's record, and he only has one loss.
Yeah, he didn't lose to Dillian White. Whoever said that, whoever said he lost to Dillian White, that's not true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He only lost to Fury. I'm on BoxRec, so it's legit.
Yeah.
Didn't that Otto Wallin Dillian White fight get called off?
Yeah.
So I don't know what that person was saying.
The thing about Wilder and Ruiz is, no matter who Wilder fights, that right hand is gonna land every time. He knows how to set it up. So
every damn time.
If Ruiz can take it, then Ruiz should win that fight.
Everyone, all right? He's dropped everyone.
Yeah, he's dropped everybody who's ever been in the ring with.
Dude, that's insane. I don't care what no one says. That's just preposterous.
But the thing, if look, when Ruiz gets hurt, he's more aggressive. That's the time when he actually unlocks his fucking aggressiveness. But until then, he's very cautious. And if Wilder he misses, like for example, Ruiz bends at the waist. I've overrated that, but let's say for example he misses first, then he starts swinging like a helicopter. Then the shorter man gets on the inside. I don't see, man, how he's gonna land that right hand up close. He did it against Helenius, but like I said, this dude fucking ran head first. He offered his head on a silver platter, man. Andy Ruiz is not gonna do that.
Wilder is prone to Andy Ruiz's overhand.
Yeah,
because he's
exactly.
Too tall.
And that chunky dude, he's getting a lot of weight behind the shot. Once he landed on King Kong, they're pretty nasty, man.
Andy really isn't a puncher though, particularly. Like he can punch, but he isn't really a devastating puncher like that. So I wouldn't really be too worried about a knockout.
He got volume.
No.
He's voluminous.
that overhand right has been hitting people on the top of the head. There's a few knockouts that Andy Ruiz, even if you go back to his just the beginning of his career, man, he's hurt people like that. Now he's heavier and he's like, I'm not gonna cut down to 250. I'm gonna come in at the weight that I fought Joshua the first time. And when he's landing his punch, he's throwing it like he believes that he knows he's knocking fools out. And he dropped King Kong Ortiz with that punch. And if you go back and look at that, man, it looks like just as heavy as any other heavyweight. I'm not saying he punched like Deontay Wilder, but it's hurting people.
Yeah, he got that snack power for sure.
The thing about Ruiz is that I don't think anybody beats his ass when it comes to exchanging in the pocket. And I don't see a lot of heavyweights that are able to throw 4 to 5 punch combos like he did against fucking AJ. And AJ is elite, so to be able to land 4 or 5 punch combos on him, it's not easy.
I can see Andy Ruiz landing like 6 or 5 combinations on Wilder. Might even beat him up for a couple rounds, but I feel like Wilder
can see him dropping Wilder.
But you look at Ruiz's last 3 fights; they haven't been good. Haven't looked good.
He looked like trash against Areola.
Trash.
Joshua looked like trash. Areola looked like trash. Ortiz, he looked
and
like
honestly,
trash.
Ortiz, as old as he is, because Ortiz looks like he's 65. He should have beat him a lot easier than that.
Yeah, I agree. Andy Ruiz is unreliable, but when he prepares correctly, and I think if he was to fight Wilder, I don't think he will take Wilder lightly. I think he will be there at his best.
Andy Ruiz,
he's unreliable.
Yeah, Andy Ruiz is the type of fighter. He's a gym rat. He's the type of dude he would perform so much better if he was fighting 3 times a year, just in his style. Because what it would do is it would keep him idle time, right? Is the devil's workshop. When you're not fighting but once a year, it's hard to keep a guy with his body type in fighting shape, and that makes all the difference in the world. I mean, if he was in a camp, like he had maybe a month off between camps and shit, like fight, have a month off, and then get right back into fucking pre-camp and then camp another fight. If he was doing that, you would see a much better Andy Ruiz. Inactivity is the worst thing for him in his career. I'm done.
And you
guys know that the kid, he loves food. And another thing, he was broke pretty much. Well, he was broke, I think. Actually, he got a lot of kids, and as soon as he tasted a piece of like the stardom and like having a lot of money, it got to his head, and he's kind of living the life now, and he's kind of content like that. It's kind of like a not mediocre mentality, but in a sense, he could have made 10 times what he made if he would have beat Joshua in the rematch, and he would have been better for it. But no, he was like one-hit wonder.
And you got to think, what do we all do, right? Oh, Gonzalo, what do we all do? Right, Christmas, we eat, right? Big family events. It's around food, right? It's just our culture. That's since we come out of trees. That's the height of success. Is just a meal. Everybody loves to eat, and so when you got millions and like that's your fucking hobby, you like good food. You didn't have food when you were a kid. That's in idle times. That's dangerous for a guy like him.
Hey Jimmy, I agreed with your point because Ruiz was coming off a 1.5 years of inactivity against King Kong Ortiz, and I think that's why he didn't look great. And I don't blame Ruiz because Ruiz was trying to get a fight with Tyrone Spong just to stay active, but Al Heyman and his team told him not to take that fight. But the thing is PBC doesn't really have dates, and that's why Andy has been inactive lately. And I don't know if you noticed, but they sent them over there to Fox just because Showtime don't have a budget. They just want the fans to foot the bill because they don't have dates. They're struggling right now.
And Fox is out of boxing. I mean, they'll take a slice of the pie, but they're not investing anything in the PBC fights.
Yeah, I don't blame them. That's a smart business decision.
So wait, let's say Showtime
with the motherfuckers.
So let's say Showtime actually does go out of business. Where would these fighters go? Would they become free agents and just go to different promotion companies? How does that work?
No. The only fighter who's actually signed to Showtime would be Boots Ennis. All the other guys are PBC, so they would go wherever PBC goes. If PBC signed a deal with an app, which would obviously be the way they would go, that's where that's where they'd all go. They'd still be signed to Al Heyman. If he was to say, "All right, I'm getting out too. I'm going to sell the PBC." Like, could Dana White step in and buy the PBC and all the contracts? Absolutely.
Well, the only thing I like about Showtime is I like what do they call that little like pre-fight video that they show? Not Showbox, like
pre-fight.
No, like those videos that they show like the fighters getting ready. For the fights, like they show their camps and what they're doing in those camps.
24/7. No,
everyone
24/7. Yeah,
that, though. Even Frank has.
Yeah, but Showtime they do it a lot better than those guys, in my opinion. It's more more detailed.
Yeah.
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 Hey, I want to throw in there too. In the heavyweights now, we're talking about the heavyweights. You know who the real boogeyman is right now, man? And nobody.
Jared Anderson.
No.
Arslan Mahmoudov.
Joyce.
No.
Joyce. Yeah, of course.
No.
I want to see Wilder land a right on that guy. If he can take that, this guy has a great shot at our team.
He's a large dude. Like literally, I think his cranium is like supposedly like thicker than like a normal human being. He's big as fuck. He can take a punch, and he brings it. Even though he's not like, did my shit fucking cut off, man, or what?
Yeah,
no, you're good. You're good.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he brings it, and even though he's slow, he'll dial it down to where if you land first, he's coming second, and you have to slow the way you're fighting, because you know if you're done punching, he's gonna punch. So now you're worried about what's coming after. That he can dial it down to where now it's like a fucking swamp, dude. You just gotta fight to fucking survive once you're getting tired. And as you're getting tired, he's stepping it up. And he's putting you in like this weird territory. He's like, man,
it's like he makes you fight in quicksand almost. That nigga is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He fights like George Foreman.
He's good at controlling distance and the tempo and all that shit.
Yeah, in the chat, King KO says Joyce would KO Wilder early.
Early, but late probably. I'd say late. I agree with that, but late.
If he can take his punch, because he will land on that dude easily.
Yeah.
If he can take Wilder's punch, we need to study this man. We need to dissect him and whatever the fuck is on his cranium.
Mm-hmm. He can take a punch. He can take a punch. But this thing that can he take Wilder's punch? What if Wilder never lands?
Oh, he's gonna land.
What do you mean? He's gonna
land? Maybe he won't. Look at Wilder in that first round. He looked awful.
Yeah,
his legs were off.
Joyce is the slowest heavyweight I've ever seen in my life.
Bro, we all saw Wilder's legs, dude.
Sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, he will land. I mean, I remember Wilder Severn. That went 12 rounds. I mean, it's not as if every punch that Wilder lands is that KO punch.
We still don't know what Wilder has.
Probably has better defense
than George. We didn't really see what Wilder has still. The Hellenius fight, we only saw one round.
Yeah.
The one round, Wilder's legs looked really fucking shaky, dude. If you didn't notice, dude.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh,
we can tell one round. We can't say anything.
He was looking like
Bambi. Can't say shit.
He looked like Bambi. I was watching it on the Repit thing. All of us noticed it.
When has his feet ever looked good? He doesn't have great.
No, they looked really bad.
This time they were bad, bro.
This time you could tell something was different, dude. Like this guy's stumbling over himself.
To be fair, we need to see more, guys. We need to see more than one round.
That's why I want to see more. Because
can he take a punch? That's the biggest question.
Yeah.
Did you see Hellenius, the way he squared up? He comes flailing in with his chin up in the air.
Yeah.
Trying to... That's just sad, man.
I mean, it's terrible.
Boy, Hellenius.
You didn't even see him hit.
He's terrible.
We did not see him hit at all.
Boxing 101. You don't do that. That's why I'm saying. How was this fight an WBC eliminator? Are you telling me like Hellenius is so good that he's ranked up there, ready for a title shot?
Sniffing WBC title anytime soon. He just got knocked out twice. Come on.
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I've known that since I was like 13 that you're not supposed to launch in like that. So, I mean,
and on the first round, like the first thing it's unbelievable.
Hell of an acting job.
Some people say it's fake. Yeah, we talked about it.
There we go.
Hell of an acting job.
Anyways, guys, I'm gonna end it. You guys can stay and keep talking. I'm gonna end the stream. All right, take care. Thanks for joining us. Everybody in the chat. I mean, listen, Open Lines Friday is never easy. We still, I believe, need to find the proper format for this type of show. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section of this video. And I'll definitely read your comments and see how we can improve the Kumite. All right, guys? Everybody in the chat, I see your comments there. I want to wish you a good night, and we'll see you next time, all right? See ya.
Heart's on fire. I'm gonna push it over the wire. Perfect timing, tight as a drum. You find the battles already won. I'm taking hold of every moment, given strength by the breath of life. I'm gonna stake my claim. I'll fight to survive. Worked hard every night and day, so I'm prepared to make my way. Mind and body are a perfect team.